find out more information as to the whereabouts of Dhanush, because he has been missing with this group of 4 friends who have been missing along with him. So a group of 12 people had carried out this assault on the 12th, and now various sections of the IPC, the Indian Penal Code, has been slapped against Dhanush as well as his friends. But yes, all his friends have been taken into custody, but apart from Dhanush, everybody is taken in. But the big question is, who is going on and sheltering Dhanush, and who is giving protection to Dhanush? And why have they still not been able to track him? Because we're not speaking about a seasoned criminal. We are speaking about somebody who's just finished his education from college over here. So where could he have gone as well? Now we're also getting into the depth of his political connections, and now it is being learnt that he is very close with, his father K.C. Ramachandra is also close with A. Narayana Swamy, who was the former MLA from Anekal from the BJP party. So more and more political links coming out between Dhanush's father Ramchandra as well as Dhanush himself. Over to you in the studio.
Absolutely, and we'll keep coming back to you as we get updates further on this. 11 days now, and demand is growing that Dhanush must be taken into custody. We're stepping into a very short commercial break. On that note, also a quick check of the big stories we're tracking for you this afternoon. From the national capital, where Vadra Congress has outraged the Sikh community again, making riot-tainted Jagdish Titler its star campaigner. And Sidhu Moosewala murder probe is widening. Gangster Goldie Brar detained in United States. Will he be extradited next?
These are the Kashmiri Pandit. They are staging protests because they are feeling the similar kind of situation what they faced in 90s in the Kashmir. And they are saying one thing that is very clear, that those who are trying to portray that the Kashmir Files movie was a propaganda, they are trying to just portray and give a clean sheet to those who have been culprits of the genocide of the Kashmiri Pandits.
Where 6 people have been reported dead and 15 injured in a collision between a road-based bus and a truck in Tapesipa in Bahraich. Former Food and Civil Supplies and Consumer Affairs Minister Bharat Bhushan Anshu arrested by the Punjab Vigilance Bureau in connection with the 2,000 crore food grain transportation scam.
Dibrugarh University on the ragging case there, which has caused serious concern and which has escalated. Dibrugarh police have arrested another student.
A high voltage battle which will decide the nation's political trajectory. Who will break their records and which faces will be the winners?
89 out of the 182 seats go to polls. Stay tuned to India's Election News headquarters
as Gujarat goes to polls. Live coverage minute by minute
all day today on Republic.
Chief Minister Basavaraj Bommai, as we'd been reporting earlier, is set to visit Belgavi on the 2nd of December. Bommai will visit the bordering village of Belgavi.
The Delhi Liquorgate. Now, the Enforcement Directorate has now arrested Amit Arora. Now, remember, it's the 6th arrest in the case.
The joint operation for the BSF as well as the Punjab Police, as they have recovered 5 AK rifles, 5 pistols and 9 magazines that have been recovered from the Firozpur area.
The report exposes how Robert Vadra and Huda's family conspired together in a multi-crore scam.
Mr. Malia, why are the questions bothering you when I'm not getting a single answer?
Anti-Hindu graffiti was painted on the walls of JNU campus in New Delhi. The walls of the university were defaced with casteist hate slogans. Meanwhile, the college vice-chancellor condemned the act, taking serious note of the incident.
A few hundred years ago, we'd given up the caste system.
Earlier also we have seen such sloganing and also the defacement of walls. It keeps on happening. Do you think the strong actions?
I definitely believe and think that wherever these things are happening, and if it's an educational institution especially, such things are to be avoided and averted, and strong action against anyone who tries to divide the community.
Last question, ABVP is alleging that left is behind this. What do you have to say on this?
No, ABVP will have better knowledge, because I don't belong to campus. People who are on the campus would know exactly what has transpired and has happened.
You demand action.
I definitely want action.
Word coming in from Union Minister Meenakshi Lekhi, who is on a campaign spree looking into the city elections in Delhi, and she has also demanded strong actions as far as the defacement of wall in JNU is concerned. With Nardeshwar and Piyush Mishra in Delhi for Republic TV.
Alright, so this is the latest reaction coming in from the BJP, where Union Minister Meenakshi Lekhi has responded to the hate slogans that have been put on the walls of JNU, where she goes on to say that any educational institute must stay away from this kind of a divisive environment. And we have the complainant advocate Vineet Jindal, who's with us on the phone line. Vineet Jindal, give us details of the complaint you have filed and what you have to say over these hate slogans in JNU.
No, we all know about the previous conduct of this anti-social and anti-national activity has been done in JNU, and now a specific casteist remark against Baniya and Brahman has been written on the walls of JNU. And not only this, it's specific threat of killing the Baniya and Brahman students over there. So today I filed a complaint with the DCP Southwest and SHO concern for taking necessary action against the culprits who are doing all this kind of act. This is an act of hate speech also. So I have filed a complaint, and hopefully the action will be taken soon by the Delhi Police.
But Vineet, this seriously needs stronger action, given the kind of repeat offence we have seen on the JNU campus all these years. And they call them the Tukre gang, or the left liberal wing that is spewing such venom. But let's also not forget the basic premise that it is an educational institute where the youth of our country goes to seek education, and the very fact that they indulge in such divisive activities to destabilize harmony is very concerning for the country by and large.
Yes, and but I think that this is a lack of administrative side of the JNU department. The persons or the students who are indulged on this kind of activity, they should be restricted. They should be strict action should be taken against them. But till now, we have not seen any such kind of action. This is an educational institute, and this is the biggest educational institute of India that has been run on taxpayers' money. The students who are studying over there on taxpayers' money, and they are again and again they are doing this kind of anti-national, anti-social activities against our country, our citizens of our country. This could not be taken in a lenient manner. That's why I'm.
Right, Vineet Jindal there talking to Republic as he's filed a complaint on JNU becoming a hub of hate and the kind of hate slogans and this narrative that is being pushed in the university campus. On that note, we step into a very short commercial break. Also, a quick check of the other big stories we're tracking for you this afternoon. It is the Vadra Congress that has outraged the Sikh community yet again by making Jagdish Titler its star campaigner for the MCD polls in the national capital. Bajrang Dal staging protests over the comment made by the Israeli filmmaker, and anger that is growing across the nation over the insult to Kashmiri Pandits.
Bilkis Bano has now moved the Supreme Court over the release of 11 convicts was challenged in the Supreme Court. Bilkis demanded to send everyone back to jail.
From Dibrugarh University, case of ragging had shocked the entire country.
As Gujarat goes to polls on the 1st of December, 89 of 182 seats will vote.
Where high voltage political battle has broken out in the state of Gujarat since the bipolarity of the state.
Will the BJP score a record victory in Gujarat? Is the Aam Aadmi Party even a factor?
Politics has been challenged for the first time. Watch the fastest updates only on India's election headquarters
On Republic TV.
These are the Kashmiri Pandit. They are staging protests because they are feeling the similar kind of situation what they faced in 1990s in the Kashmir. And they are saying one thing that is very clear, that those who are trying to portray that the Kashmir Files movie was a propaganda, they are trying to just portray and give a clean sheet to those who have been culprits of the genocide of the Kashmiri Pandits.
Where 6 people have been reported dead and 15 injured in a collision between a road-based bus and a truck in Tapesipa in Baharich. Former Food and Civil Supplies and Consumer Affairs Minister Bharat Bhushan Anshu arrested by the Punjab Vigilance Bureau in connection with the 2,000 crore food grain transportation scam.
Dibrugarh University on the ragging case there, which has caused serious concern and which has escalated. Dibrugarh police have arrested another student.
A high voltage battle which will decide the nation's political trajectory. Who will break their records and which faces will be the winners?
89 out of the 182 seats go to polls. Stay tuned to India's election news headquarters
As Gujarat
Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen. You are watching Live and Breaking on this Friday afternoon on Republic TV. I'm Ankit Prasad and we are tracking a number of stories today, from the open Hinduphobia and casteist graffiti at the Jawaharlal University campus to the detention of Goldie Brar, the Sidhu Moosewala murder mastermind in California, and from the BJP brat who is still missing after he led an attack on restaurant staff in Bengaluru's Electronic City, to many other stories. We'll get you all that and more on this bulletin. Let's start off with the headlines. In yet another controversy in JNU, casteist hate slogans painted on the campus walls.
जानते हैं कि वो ये दुस्साहस करेंगे और दंडित नहीं होंगे.
Smriti Irani hits out, says we know exactly who is pushing the hate narrative. Bengaluru hotel assault video shocks the nation. A demand grows for the arrest of the VVIP brat. In the national capital, Vadra Kong outrages the Sikh community once again, makes riot-tainted Jagdish Titler its star campaigner. Sidhu Moosewala murder probe widens. Gangster Goldie Brar detained in America. Will he be extradited to India next? And another Tihar tape video hits Kejriwal and company ahead of the Delhi battle. Viewers, we've seen umpteen times on Republic how relatives of politicians often display high-handedness, but a video that we accessed yesterday from Bengaluru has taken the cake on that front. Dhanush, the son of a BJP leader in Karnataka, Ramachandra, led a group of people into a restaurant late one night in Bengaluru's Electronic City. It was too late for them to be served food, but they demanded it. And then when they were not being served because the restaurant wanted to shut, they led a huge assault on the restaurant staff. There was a mass brawl that broke out with Dhanush and the people with him beating up the restaurant staff. Shockingly, 11 days after that, while some 7 people have been detained, Dhanush, the VVIP BJP brat, is still absconding. The question is, was he given time to abscond? We've spoken to a number of BJP leaders and spokespersons who have touted the fact that complaints have been registered, sections of the IPC, multiple sections have been imposed, but the VVIP brat remains missing. In light of this, Republic's reporter Prajwal even went to Dhanush's house, but there was no sign of him there. This is a campaign on Republic. India is demanding an end to the brat Raj in the country. Politicians' relatives must not be able to flout the law. The law should apply to them as equally as it applies to you and me and the general public. And so we have launched this campaign for an end to brat Raj. Visuals on your screen demonstrate how there was an epic brawl that began, and it was sparked by Dhanush and his entourage, who appeared at a restaurant in Electronic City in Bengaluru at about 11 p.m. one night. It was too late for them to be served. The restaurant staff refused them and then they beat them up. Let's take a look at this report. This was an open assault at a restaurant in Bengaluru's Electronic City. Among the 15 to 20 people who indulged in violence was Dhanush, the son of Karnataka BJP leader K.C. Ramachandra.
BJP leader Ramachandra's son Dhanush has been under the scanner for going on and assaulting the hotel employees as well as staff of a hotel called as The Village under Electronic City police station limits. A case was registered on the 20th of November and this incident happened at 11:30 p.m. on that day.
So far, 7 people have been detained and an FIR has been filed.
We have secured 7 people so far, and they will be put under the judicial custody in another couple of hours' time. They are already with us. There are some more people whom we know exactly who are those people, and our team is on the job, and very soon we are going to put them also behind the bars.
But the BJP brat is still out and about.
The police have taken 7 people into custody, but Dhanush is still absconding and the opposition is crying foul, stating that the police are not taking any action. All the 7 of them were produced before the court today and the court has granted judicial custody.
For far too long, political brats have refused to give up their bratish behavior. From the BJP MLA's arrogant daughter,
Shut it off! Shut it off! Shut up!
to the Congress minister's son who threw the rule book to the winds. Another Karnataka politician's son It's time to cut the long rope for political brats. So you saw there, viewers, exactly what had transpired. Last night on Arnab Goswami's debate, we had a BJP Karnataka spokesperson who spoke about how there were 11 sections of the IPC that had been imposed in the complaint relating to this case. But the larger question remains that 11 days have elapsed and yet the main accused there allegedly of leading this brawl has not been arrested so far. In fact, it is believed that he could even be in another state. So was Dhanush given time to abscond? Is he being protected because of his political connections? These are some of the questions that the public has also been asking. The demand is for Dhanush to first and foremost immediately be arrested. Viewers, over the last few years, the Armed Forces Special Powers Act, AFSPA, has been withdrawn sequentially in increasing number of districts in the northeast states. And now, speaking to Republic, a top army official has made a very big statement. He says something to the line of AFSPA going soon. And so the army is undertaking the training of about 3,000 Assam police commandos. Take a look at this statement. It's very crucial in the context of AFSPA purportedly going soon.
See, this training was conceptualized earlier and we are taking it forward. It's a step in the right direction, because as you are aware, the peace is returning in Assam. And the Armed Forces Special Act is going out of many places, which is a very heartening situation. To maintain this peace, the police responsibility of the police increases. So it's a step for increasing capability of the police. Now this is a 40 weeks training what we are undergoing. We'll have basic military training in which the basics of military discipline, physical fitness, and also weapon handling would be covered. In second, advanced military training, which is of 25 weeks. This will have counter-insurgency operations, special operations, and also aspects of police, which will be covered by the police instructors. Now we have gone around and seen the arrangement. Our instructors we have chosen are right for giving the right kind of training to this very motivated recruits, which I have met them, and I can see the selection is very correct. So we can take it forward.
So from time to time, as far as the counter-insurgency operation is concerned, there has been a lot of debates going on over the last many years, and it is always said and by many experts of internal security that it's always better if you put the internal security agencies mostly in the CI operations. Then also they suggest that it's always better to use the local police rather than the armed forces as far as CI operation is concerned. Do you also agree to it? And also, do you think that this specialized training being provided by the army will take that very same step much ahead?
You can't be more right than what you have said. I think the point is absolutely correct, and that has been realized because the army, while they have a secondary role in internal security situations, but it is always better that the local police and state police takes over the responsibility. So our focus is to improve the capability of state police so that army can be totally dedicated for their conventional task. So this is what is happening, and I fully agree with this.
So there you saw the top official of the army speaking about how it is always better that even while the army remains to tackle any untoward situation, internal or external, the local police be empowered and be ready to also tackle that situation. He was saying this in the context of northeastern states having the Armed Forces Special Powers Act in place for a number of years now. However, the number of districts to which AFSPA applies has been coming down in recent years, and so in that context it's a very, very big development. Viewers, we have breaking news coming in. We'll be getting you more on this. Viewers, a very controversial political leader, AIUDF Chief Maulana Badruddin Ajmal, has made a sexist, misogynist and regressive statement with regards to population control. Badruddin Ajmal says that Hindus should follow a particular population formula, and his formula is, and I believe I am quoting here, that Muslim girls get married after completing the age of 18 years, and Badruddin Ajmal says Hindu girls don't marry even into their 40s and they get involved in illegal affairs. This is Badruddin Ajmal's sexist statement that's coming in. Let's listen in to what the controversial AIUDF chief has said.
वैसे ही दिखेगा. उन्होंने काला चश्मा लगाया तो हम उनको काले दिखेंगे, चाहे हम कितने खूबसूरत हो. हाँ, अभी वो जो फिल्म वाले कभी कभी बनाते हैं ना, एकदम से खूबसूरत चेहरे वाला हीरो को काला बना देते हैं. तो ये लोग काला बना के मुसलमानों को बैठे हुए हैं. इनको डर है मुसलमानों से. अरे भाई, किस बात का डर है? सरकार जाके, हुकूमत जाके 200-300 साल हो गया. लोग आपके साथ मिलजुल के रहते हैं. कांग्रेस की जब तक हुकूमत रही इस मुल्क में, बीजेपी की जब तक हुकूमत नहीं आई, यही लोग देशवासियों के साथ मिलजुल के होते रहे. अब आप आए हो, रोजाना एक नया नया हिस्सा निकाल रहे हो, तो ये आपके प्लानिंग के अंदर है. मुसलमानों के प्लानिंग के अंदर ऐसा कुछ नहीं है. 22 साल में शादी कर लेते हैं. लड़कियां 18 साल सरकार ने इजाजत दी, उसके बाद शादी कर लेते हैं. वो लोग 40 साल से पहले 1, 2, 3 इलीगल बीवियां रखते हैं, वहां बच्चे होने नहीं देते, उनका खर्चा वो बजाते हैं, मजा उड़ाते हैं. उसके बाद 40 साल के बाद माँ बाप ने मजबूर किया या कहीं फंस गए तो एक शादी कर ली. उसके बाद 40 साल के बाद बच्चा पैदा करने की सलाहियत कहाँ रहती है? तो कैसे उम्मीद रखते हैं कि वहां से इतने बच्चे बढ़ेंगे? तो जो लोग टाइम पे फर्टाइल जमीन के ऊपर आप जब मिट्टी डालोगे और दवा डालोगे तो वहां से तो धान ही धान उगेगा, खेती अच्छी होगी, लहान होगी, तरक्की होगी. तो उनको भी अपनाना चाहिए मुसलमानों के इस फॉर्मूले को कि अपने बच्चों को, जवानों को 20-22 साल में शादियां कराओ, लड़कियों को 18-20 साल की उम्र में शादियां कराओ. फिर देखो आपके यहाँ भी कितने बच्चे पैदा होते हैं. लेकिन 2 नंबर ही धंधा मत करो.
So that was a very communal, sexist, misogynist, regressive, the number of things you can call that statement is umpteen statement by Badruddin Ajmal, the AIUDF chief. At one point he was even talking about Hindu women having multiple illegal affairs before they turn 40 and then only marrying because they are forced to, and he is contrasting this with how Muslim women get married at the age of 18. It's a lot of nonsense that he has spoken. For more on this, we have Anirudh joining us. Anirudh, what was the context in which Badruddin Ajmal was speaking about? Was it a question that was posed to him? Was he talking about population being controlled or being increased? What really is going on?
Yes, Ankit, Badruddin Ajmal, in fact, is always known for making controversial statement, be it sometime attacking journalists with slangs is concerned, or making some irresponsible comment while comparing development in the Muslim area is concerned. And this comment is in yet another misogynistic comment made by Badruddin Ajmal while giving a media bite recently. And this has once again shown the misogynistic mindset of the AIUDF and also of its patriarch, of its supreme leader, what they say, Badruddin Ajmal. Interestingly, this comment also he needs to introspect in regards to the development activities that has been taking place in the minority area, and how in many parts of Assam still minority women are actually
Anirudh, stay with us. I believe we have Maulana Sajid Rashidi joining us. मौलाना रशीदी जी, अगर आपने देखा है कि मौलाना बदरुद्दीन अजमल ने क्या कहा है, आपका क्या कहना है इस स्टेटमेंट पे? आपको लगता है कि ये टोटली मिसोजिनिस्ट और सेक्सिस्ट स्टेटमेंट है?
देखिए, जो मौलाना ने जो कहा है वो सच्चाई पर मबनी है बात, क्योंकि इस्लाम में बालिग होते ही शादी करने का हुक्म है और मुसलमान करते हैं, 18 साल की एज होते ही शादी कर देते हैं। लेकिन हिंदुओं में ज्यादातर रिलेशनशिप का रिवाज चल पड़ा है, इसमें कोई दो राय नहीं है। तलाक का रेशो भी हिंदुओं में ज्यादा है, 22 लाख।
आपको ये नहीं लगता? Okay, we have Maulana Rashidi who seems to be agreeing with this obnoxious statement that has been made by Maulana Badruddin Ajmal. We'll be getting you more on this story. For the moment, the Prime Minister is addressing a rally, part of his campaign blitz in Gujarat.
છાણાનો ચૂલો હોય, 400 સિગરેટ જેટલું ધુમાડો એના શરીરમાં જતો હોય, 400 સિગરેટ રોજનો। તમે વિચાર કરો, માતાઓ બહેનોને થાય શું? આ દીકરાને માની તકલીફ હતી, એની ખબર હતી, અને એટલા માટે મેં આ માતાઓ બહેનોને ગેસના કનેક્શન આપ્યા અને ઘેર ઘેર ગેસ પહોંચાડ્યો। આ ભારતીય જનતા પાર્ટીની સરકાર ગરીબો માટે જે વાયદો કરે, એ વાયદો દિવસ રાત મહેનત કરીને પૂરો કરનારી પાર્ટી જ ભાઈઓ। ગરીબ માટે સરકાર ખજાનો ખોલી નાખે, મધ્યમ વર્ગ માટે ખજાનો ખોલી નાખે ભાઈ। આ એમના માટે દેશ છે। કોંગ્રેસના માટે તો એક જ રાજકારણ હતું, અમીર અને ગરીબ વચ્ચેની ખાઈ મોટી કરો, અમીરને કાયમ નિર્ભર રહેવા દો, અને જે પૈસા કોંગ્રેસ સરકાર દિલ્હીમાંથી મોકલે એની જેટલી લૂંટ થાય એટલી કરો, લૂંટી જ લેવાના। કોંગ્રેસના એક નેતાએ કહ્યું હતું કે દિલ્હીથી રૂપિયો નીકળે તો 15 પૈસા પહોંચે। કેટલા?
A leader of the Congress party has said
રૂપિયો
that
નીકળે ત્યારે તો એમની જ રાત હતી। પંચાયતમાં કોંગ્રેસ, એસેમ્બલીમાં કોંગ્રેસ, પાર્લામેન્ટમાં કોંગ્રેસ, સરકારમાં કોંગ્રેસ। અમે ભાજપવાળા તો કઈ હતા જ નહીં। એ વખતે કોંગ્રેસના પ્રધાનમંત્રી કહ્યું હતું કે દિલ્હીથી એક રૂપિયો નીકળે તો ગરીબના ગામ જતા જતા 15 પૈસા થઈ જાય। ભૈયા કયો પંજો રૂપિયો ઘસી નાખતો? ના ના, કયો પંજો રૂપિયો ઘસી નાખતો હતો? આ 85 પૈસા જતા હતા ક્યાં? આ મેં બધા બૂચ મારી દીધા।
Where was the rest of the paisa going in that 1 rupee?
આ કોંગ્રેસના બધા કારોબાર હતા ને બંધ કર્યા, એના તौर તરીકા બંધ કરી દીધા. ગરીબની ચિંતા મેં કરી અને પૂરી ઈમાનદારીથી કામ કરી રહ્યા છે ભાઈ. કોરોના કાળમાં આવડી મોટી ભયંકર બીમારી આવી ભાઈ. 100 વર્ષમાં કોઈ આવી બીમારી નથી જોઈ. ભલાના હાજા કરી ગયા હતા. ઘરમાં એક જણને કોરોના થયો હોય ને તો આખું ઘરની બહાર જતું રહેતું, એવી દશા હતી કે નહીં ભાઈ? અરે ઘરમાં એક માણસને ગંભીર માંદગી આવે તો 5 વર્ષ સુધી ઘર હરકું ના થાય. આખા દેશ ઉપર આવડી મોટી માંદગી આવી હતી. કેટલી મુસીબતે આ દેશને સંભાળ્યો હશે તમે અંદાજ કરો. અને આવા કપરા કાળમાં પણ તમારો દીકરો જયારે દિલ્હીમાં બેઠો હતો ને, એ ગરીબનું છોકરું ભૂખ્યું ના સુવે એના માટે આ તમારો દીકરો જાગતો હતો.
But even during the COVID-19
80 કરોડ લોકોને મફત અનાજ આપ્યું. ભાઈઓ અનાજ મફત પહોંચાડ્યું. 3 લાખ કરોડ રૂપિયાનો ખર્ચો કર્યો અને બધાને વેક્સિન, બધાની જિંદગી બચાવવા માટેની ચિંતા કરી. 40,000 કરોડ રૂપિયા ખર્ચા વેક્સિનના. તમને બધાને વેક્સિન મળી કે ના મળી? વેક્સિન મળી કે ના મળી? એક કાણીભાઈ ખર્ચો કરવો પડ્યો. તમારી જિંદગી બચાવી કે ના બચાવી? ભાઈઓ બહેનો,
similarly speaking about the vaccination drive, all of the people in fact in the country had been
ચિંતા કરવી,
vaccinated.
સામાન્ય નાગરિકની ચિંતા કરવી. આ દિલ્હીમાં એવી સરકાર બેઠી છે જે સામાન્ય માનવી માટે કામ કરે છે. તમે જુઓ, પહેલા કોરોનાના કારણે બધી સપ્લાય ચેન ખરાબ થઈ ગઈ, પછી લડાઈ ઓછામાં પૂર્વતું આવી ગઈ, એના કારણે બધું દુનિયામાં તોફાન મચી ગયું અને ચારે તરફ મોંઘવારી એટલી બધી વધી છે. આખી દુનિયા મોંઘવારીની ચપેટમાં આવી ગઈ છે. ફર્ટિલાઇઝરની કિંમત, યુરિયા, એટલું બધું મોંઘું થઈ ગયું ભાઈઓ. આપણે વિદેશેથી યુરિયા લાવીએ છીએ, ખાતર વિદેશોથી લાવીએ છીએ. 2000 રૂપિયાની યુરિયાની થેલી આપણે વિદેશથી લાવીએ. કેટલાની? જા બોલો ને, કેટલાની?
Even the cost of fertilizer,
યુરિયાની થેલી કેટલામાં આવે છે? આ ગોખાવાનું છે મારે તમને, જરા બોલો. વિદેશથી યુરિયાની થેલી કેટલામાં આવે છે? વિદેશથી યુરિયાની થેલી કેટલામાં આવે છે? વિદેશથી યુરિયાની થેલી કેટલામાં આવે છે? અને આપણે કેટલામાં આપીએ છીએ? આપણે ખેડૂતને 270 રૂપિયામાં આપીએ છીએ. 270 કેટલામાં લાવીએ છીએ? કેટલામાં આપીએ છીએ? કેટલામાં? આ તમારો દીકરો ત્યાં બેઠો છે ને એટલે બધું માથે ઉપાડે છે, કારણ કે મારા ખેડૂતને તકલીફ ન પડે. અને એમાં 2 લાખ કરોડ રૂપિયા વાપર્યા છે ભાઈઓ. 2 લાખ કરોડ રૂપિયા. પીએમ કિસાન સન્માન નિધિ અમારો, આપણો તો ઉત્તર ગુજરાત ખબર છે, આપણો પાટણ જિલ્લો, બનાસકાંઠા જિલ્લો, મહેસાણા જિલ્લો. જમીનો કેટલી? 1 વીઘું, 2 વીઘું, 2.5 વીઘા, 3 વીઘા, 1 એકર, 2 એકર. સીમાંત ખેડૂતો આપણે ત્યાં તો. મોટા મોટા ખેડૂતોને સાંભળવા વાળા તો સરકારો કોંગ્રેસે ચલાવી. આ ગરીબ ખેડૂત તો કોણ સાંભળે? આ તમારો દીકરો દિલ્હી ગયો એટલે એને નક્કી કર્યું પીએમ કિસાન સન્માન નિધિ બનાવી અને વર્ષમાં 3 વખત દરેક ખેડૂતના ખાતામાં સીધા પૈસા મોકલું છું. વચ્ચે કોઈ કટકી કંપની નહીં, કોઈ વચેટીઓ નહીં. અને તમને પાછો મોબાઈલમાં મેસેજ આવી જાય કે પૈસા પહોંચી ગયા. અત્યાર સુધીમાં 2 લાખ કરોડ રૂપિયા ખેડૂતોના ખાતાઓમાં જમા કરાયા છે. અને આપણા અહીંયા જ લગભગ આપણા જિલ્લામાં 470 કરોડ રૂપિયા પહોંચાડે છે. અહીં જે ખેડૂતો બેઠા છે એમના ખિસ્સામાં આવ્યા હશે 470 કરોડ રૂપિયા. બોલો
In North Gujarat itself, 474
સામાન્ય માનવીની શક્તિની ચિંતા હતી. અને બીજી વચ્ચે કોઈ વચોટીઓ ઘૂસવા ના જો, કોઈ કટકી કંપની નહીં, કાકા મામા વાળો કોઈ નહીં. હું સીધા પૈસા ખેડૂતને મોકલું. આ કામ આપણે કર્યું. હું તો જોઉં છું માતાઓ બહેનોના જે મને આશીર્વાદ મળે છે ને, અદભુત આશીર્વાદ છે, અદભુત આશીર્વાદ છે. આખા દેશમાંથી ભાઈઓ જે પ્રકારે દેશભરમાંથી આપણને મદદ મળી રહી છે, માતાઓ બહેનોના જે આશીર્વાદ મળી રહ્યા છે, એના કારણે અહીંયા અમારા ડોક્ટર રાજુલબેન બેઠા છે. કદાચ પાટણમાં પહેલી વાર આટલું બધું ભણેલા કોઈ ઉમેદવાર આવ્યા હશે. મારે ત્યાં ભારત સરકારમાં રાજુલબેન નેશનલ વિમેન કમિશનમાં કામ કરતા હતા અને આખા દેશમાં પ્રવાસ કરતા હતા. અને પ્રવાસ કરીને પછી રિપોર્ટ કરવા આવે ત્યારે મને કહે કે સાહેબ આખા દેશમાં માતાઓ બહેનો તમને આશીર્વાદ આપે છે, આખા દેશમાં.
I get a lot of blessings from all of you and from the entire country as well.
અને પાટણમાં તો માતૃશક્તિ માટે કાંઈ કહેવાની જરૂર નહીં ભાઈઓ. આ મારું સિદ્ધપુર માના શ્રાદ્ધ માટેની જગ્યા. પિતૃ શ્રાદ્ધ જેમ ગયામાં જાય, માતૃ શ્રાદ્ધ મોક્ષ કર્મ કરવા માટે અર્પણની ભૂમિ મારું આ સિદ્ધપુર. આ પાવન ધરા અને આવનારા 25 વર્ષમાં ભાઈઓ બહેનો ગુજરાતને વિકસિત ગુજરાત બનાવવું છે. એમાં ગુજરાતની નારી શક્તિની ભૂમિકા ખૂબ મોટી રહેવાની છે. આ નારી શક્તિના સામર્થ્યને ભારતીય જનતા પાર્ટી સરકારનું સૌભાગ્ય છે. એને માતાઓ, બહેનો, બેટીઓ એના જીવનને આસાન બનાવવા માટે અનેકવિધ કદમ ઉઠાયા અને દીકરીઓને અવસર મળે એના માટે જેટલું થઈ શકે એટલું કર્યું. ભાજપ સરકારે બેટી બચાવો બેટી પઢાઓ ત્યાંથી લઈને આજે સેનામાં મારા ગુજરાતની દીકરીઓ છે અને આખા દેશમાં મોટા પાયે પર દીકરીઓ આજે દેશની રક્ષા કરવા માટે ખભે બંદૂક લઈને ઉભી થઈ ગયા. ભૈયા આ કામ આપણે કર્યું છે. આજે જીવનના પ્રત્યેક પડાવ પર, જીવન ચક્રના દરેક પડાવ પર માતાઓ બહેનોની મુસીબત દૂર કરવાનું કામ આ સરકાર કરી રહી છે. શૌચાલય હોય, ઘર હોય, ગેસ કનેક્શન હોય, ઇલાજની સુવિધા હોય, સ્વરોજગારની માટે મુદ્રા યોજના હોય, ભાજપ સરકાર પૂરા સમર્પિત ભાવથી આજે એમનું કામ કરતી હોય છે. ભાઈઓ બહેનો, આયુષ્માન યોજના એણે તો માતાઓ બહેનોને એક મોટી તાકાત આપી છે. આમ તો આખા કુટુંબને આપી છે. ઘરમાં આજે કોઈ બીમારી મોટી થઈ જાય ને,
The BJP government has taken several steps to make life easier and better for the women as well, especially policies like Ayushman Yojana that has helped the women as well.
બહેનો કોઈ માંદી પડી હોય તો માં ઘરમાં કોઈને કહે જ નહીં બીમારી છે. ગમે તેટલી શરીરમાં તકલીફ થતી હોય, દુઃખ થતું હોય, કામ ના થઈ શકે તોય બિચારી ઘરમાં રસોઈ બનાવે, બધું કામ કરે, બોલે જ નહીં. આપણી માતાઓનો
Usually the women of our house
કેમ
suffer in silence and they do not speak up about the medical issues that they might be facing,
માંદગી થઈ છે
thinking about the kind of pressure it would also put on the rest of the family and the household.
મોટું આવશે કે છોકરા દેવાના ડુંગરમાં ડૂબી જશે. અને
Women of the house are concerned about the medical bills.
દેવાના ડુંગર નીચે દબાડીને જવું નથી. ભલે હું 2 વર્ષ વહેલી મરું તો મરું, દુઃખ સહન કરવું પડે તો કરું, પણ હું છોકરાને દેવાદાર નહીં બનાવું. અને આપણે
They do not want to be a burden on the rest of the household and hence they suffer in silence.
ગંભીર માંદગી હોય, પીડા સહન કરે. મારી માતાઓને આવી પીડા થતી હોય તો તમારો દિલ્હીમાં દીકરો જે બેઠો છે એનું શું કામ ભાઈ? આ દીકરો શું કામનો? મારી માતાઓ બહેનોને તકલીફ થતી હોય તો દીકરાનું દિલ્હીમાં કામ શું? અને આ માતાઓ બહેનોને ધ્યાનમાં રાખીને અમે આયુષ્માન યોજના બનાવી. દરેક કુટુંબને
Keeping the women in mind,
5 લાખ રૂપિયા સુધીનો
the Ayushman Yojana.
દિલ્હીથી તમારો આ દીકરો નિભાવ છે ભાઈઓ. અને આજે તમારી ઉંમર 30 વર્ષની હોય ને અને 80 વર્ષ જો જીવવાના હોય તો 5 કરોડ રૂપિયા તમારા ખાતામાં તમારા નામે આ સરકાર તૈયાર રાખશે. ગમે ત્યારે માંદગી થાય તમારી ચિંતા કરશે ભાઈઓ. આ કામ આપણે કર્યું છે. ભાઈઓ બહેનો, ઉત્તર ગુજરાત એટલે પાણીનું સંકટ કાયમ માટે. પાણીની બને તો
You know that there is a water shortage issue in the north of Gujarat.
ચાણસમાની અંદર એક ચેકડેમ બનાવ્યો હતો અને દિલીપજીએ તો મને ખાસ દિલીપજી ફોટા લઈને આવ્યા. મને કે સાહેબ આ ચેકડેમ બનાવ્યો 3 કિલોમીટર પાણી ભરાણું છે, 5 કિલોમીટર. અને એના ફોટા પણ એને આખો આમ આનંદ હતો. મને ખબર છે પાણીની તાકાત શું હોય છે ભાઈઓ. વિકસિત ગુજરાતના લક્ષ્યની અંદર પાણીના સંકટમાંથી મુક્તિ, પાણીના સંકટની બાધા દૂર કરવી, આના માટે આપણે આમ કામ કર્યું. અને ભાઈઓ બહેનો, આ સંકટની દીવારને પણ આપણે હટાવી દીધી. ગયા 20 વર્ષમાં અકાળ, સુખવા, દુષ્કાળ, સુજલામ સુફલામ દ્વારા લીલીછમ ધરતી બનાવવાનું કામ કર્યું છે ભાઈઓ. અને સિંચાઈના દાયરાને પણ નિરંતર વધારી રહ્યા છે. પાણીના નવા નવા
યોજના that has been made possible for
2 પાક 3 પાક ખેડૂત અમારો લેતો રહે, એની અમે ચિંતા કરી છે ભાઈઓ.
farmers of Gujarat.
આપણો પાટણ તો બાજરો પાકે, નાના નાના ખેડૂતો બાજરાની ખેતી કરે. આ બાજરાને કોઈ પૂછે નહીં. અમીરોને તો એમ લાગે આ તો બધું ગરીબોનું ખાવાનું. સાહેબ, આપણે આખી દુનિયા બદલી નાખી. બોલો, તમને થશે કેવી રીતે બદલી? મેં યુનાઇટેડ નેશનને એક પત્ર લખ્યો અને મેં લખ્યો કે ભાઈ આ અમારા ત્યાં જે નાના નાના ખેડૂતો બાજરો ને જુવાર ને રાગીના એ શરીર માટે ઉત્તમમાં ઉત્તમ ખોરાક છે. શરીરના વિકાસ માટે ઉત્તમ ખોરાક, બધા પ્રકારના ગુણવાળો ખોરાક હોય તો આ બાજરો, જુવાર ને એવું બધું છે. 2023 નું વર્ષ મિલેટિયર એટલે જાડા અનાજવાળું વર્ષ. આખી દુનિયા આવનારું વર્ષ, આ 1 મહિના પછી જે વર્ષ શરૂ થશે ને, આખી દુનિયા આ મિલેટિયર ઉજવવાની છે. આપણો બાજરો, આપણી જુવાર, આપણું આ રાગી, આખી દુનિયામાં એનો ડંકો વાગવાનો છે ભાઈ. આ નાના ખેડૂતોની ચિંતા કરવાનું કામ આપણે કરીએ છીએ ભાઈઓ બહેનો.
like bajra, jowar and other crops as well.
યાદ છે હું નાનો હતો ત્યારે 2 વાત સાંભળતો, તમને પણ યાદ હશે. હું અહીંયા પાટણમાં રહેતો ત્યારે કાયમ સાંભળ્યું પાટણ ભીલડી રેલવે લાઈન. યાદ આવે છે ભાઈ? અને પેલી બાજુ મોડાસા કપડવંજ રેલવે લાઈન. કાયમ માટે મોડાસા કપડવંજ રેલવે લાઈનનું આંદોલન ચાલે, કાયમ પાટણ ભીલડી રેલવે લાઈનનું આંદોલન ચાલે. સાહેબ, કોંગ્રેસ વાળાની આંદોલનો ચાલ્યા કરે, પરવા જ નહોતી. આજે તો અમે પાટણને જોધપુર સાથે જોડી દીધું ભાઈ. જોધપુર સાથે વિકાસ કેવી રીતે કરાય, કનેક્ટિવિટીનું શું મહત્વ છે
We have also made a huge push towards connectivity.
હવે સૌર ઉર્જા છે
and railway lines that have connected not just
પાટણ આજે દેશમાં
intrastate but also interstate.
મોટી ક્રાંતિ કરનારું કેન્દ્ર બની ગયું છે. આજે ભારતની અંદર સૌર ઉર્જામાં દુનિયાની અંદર સૌથી અગ્રણી દેશ તરીકે ભારત સૌર ઉર્જા ઉત્પાદનની અંદર બની રહ્યો છે અને ભારતનું નામ રોશન થઈ રહ્યું છે. આજે સૌર ઉર્જા દ્વારા વાત આપણું ચારણકા કેવડો મોટો સોલાર પાર્ક બનાવી દીધો અને એના કારણે આજુબાજુના લોકોની પણ આવકના કેટલા બધા સાધનો વધી ગયા એ તમે જુઓ છો. અને વીજળી ઘર આંગણે અને અન્નદાતા ઉર્જાદાતા બને ત્યાં. અને હવે તો પાટણ જિલ્લો ગ્રીન હાઇડ્રોજનનું મથક બની જશે, ગ્રીન હાઇડ્રોજનનું મથક. અને આવનારા દિવસોમાં ગાડીઓ જે પેટ્રોલથી ચાલે છે ને એ ગ્રીન હાઇડ્રોજનથી ચાલવાની છે. જોજો તમે ભાઈઓ બહેનો, મારા માટે ગર્વની છે. મેં અહીંયા પાટણ લઈ આવ્યો. પાટણની અંદર પહેલી અને એ વખતે વીર વેગમાયાના બલિદાનને યાદ કર્યું હતું. અને એના પછી તો આખા દેશ અને દુનિયાને ખબર પડી કે વીર વેગમાયાનું કેટલું મોટું બલિદાન હતું. પાણી માટે વીર વેગમાયાએ કેટલું મોટું બલિદાન આપ્યું હતું. અને સામાજિક સમરસતા માટેનો મોટામાં મોટો સંદેશ આ મારી પાટણની ધરતી આપ્યો હતો. અને હવે તો આવનારા દિવસોમાં વીર મેઘમાયાના નામની એક ટપાલ ટિકિટ પણ આપણે બહાર પાડવાના છીએ. એ પણ આખા દુનિયાની અંદર પાટણનું નામ રોશન કરવાની છે. ભાઈઓ, કહેવાનું મારું તાત્પર્ય છે કે વિકાસની અનેક સંભાવનાઓ છે, પરંતુ આ ચૂંટણીમાં આ જિલ્લે આખો ભાજપનો જિલ્લો બનાવવો છે. આપણે બનાવશો. તમે મને કહો મોંઘામાં મોંઘી સરસમાં સરસ ગાડી હોય એ એકદમ ટોપ ગાડી, સરસમાં સરસ ડ્રાઈવર હોય, ભૂપેન્દ્ર હોય કે નરેન્દ્ર હોય, સરસમાં સરસ ડ્રાઈવર હોય, પણ એક ટાયર પંક્ચર થયેલું હોય તો એ ગાડી ચાલે, એ ગાડી આગળ લઈ જાય. ડ્રાઈવર સારામાં સારો હોય તો એ જાય ગાડી આગળ, ગમે તેટલી સરસ ગાડી હોય તો એ આગળ જાય. એક પંચર થયું હોય તો ગાડી અટકી જાય કે ના અટકી જાય? એમ એક કમળ ના ખીલે તો આપણે રૂકાવટ આવે કે ના આવે? ભાઈ, આપણે બધા કમળ ખીલવવાના છે. ખીલવશો?
Just like a luxurious car and how much ever exorbitant it may be, if there is one tire that is punctured, it will not move. And similarly, if one place and one constituency also has
આવી જ રીતે થઈ છે ને, મારે કરવી પણ છે. અને એટલા માટે પાટણ જિલ્લાના વિકાસની વાત કરું છું. મારું બચપણ મેં જે પાટણમાં બતાવ્યું હોય ને, એ પાટણના ભાગ્યોદય માટે કામ કરવાની મારી પણ જવાબદારી છે ભાઈઓ. આજે 100 રૂપિયાની નોટની પાછળ રાણકી વાવનો ફોટો છે ભાઈ. હા, આ કામ અમે કરતા હોઈએ છીએ. ભાઈઓ બહેનો, આ ચૂંટણીમાં મારી તમારી પાસે એક અપેક્ષા છે. વધુમાં વધુ મતદાન કરાવશો, દરેક પોલિંગ બૂથમાં જશો, દરેક પોલિંગ બૂથના રેકોર્ડ તોડશો. જરા જોરથી બોલો તો ખબર પડે. એમ નહીં, જોરથી બોલો. હાથ ઉપર કરીને કહો તો દરેક પોલિંગ બૂથમાં કરશો, 100% કરશો. મારું એક બીજું કામ, અંગત કામ કરશો. કરવાના હોય તો કહું, અંગત કામ જો. હાથ ઊંચા કરીને હા પાડો તો ખબર પડે મને. જરા જોરથી બોલો, કરશો? ઓર જોર સે કરશો તો કામ આટલું કરવાનું. હજી ચૂંટણીના 2-4 દાડા બાકી છે. તમે બધા મતદાતાઓને ઘેર ઘેર મળવા જશો, દરેક પોલિંગ બૂથમાં જશો, મતદાનના દિવસે પણ બધા લાઈનમાં આવશે, મળશો. ત્યારે બધાને એક વાત કરજો. કરશો? હાથ ઊંચા કરીને બોલો, કરશો? એમને કહેજો કે આપણા નરેન્દ્રભાઈ પાટણ આવ્યા હતા. શું કહેશો?
Once again, when you go for the door-to-door campaign and speak to the booth-level workers as well, tell them that
ये प्रधानमंत्री आया था नहीं कहवानु भाई.
Narendra Modi was here. Don't say that the Prime Minister was here.
दिल्ली में पाटण में तो अपना नरेंद्र भाई.
I may be the Prime Minister in Delhi.
नरेंद्र भाई पाटण आया था.
Patan, I am your Narendra Bhai.
અને તમને બધાને પ્રણામ પાઠવ્યા છે. આટલું કરશો? ઘેર ઘેર જઈને મારા પ્રણામ પહોંચાડશો. દરેક વડીલોના આશીર્વાદ માંગશો મારા માટે. આ વડીલોના આશીર્વાદ
I want you to go door to door and get
મારું સામર્થ્ય છે
and take blessings in
ઉર્જા
fact.
છે. મને આ પાટણ જિલ્લાના બધા જ વડીલોના આશીર્વાદ મળે, જેથી કરીને હું રાત દિવસ આ ભારત માતાની સેવા કરું, 123 કરોડ દેશવાસીઓની સેવા કરું. એટલા માટે ઘરે ઘરે જઈને મારું એક અંગત કામ તમે જરૂર કરજો કે આપણા નરેન્દ્રભાઈ પાટણ આવ્યા હતા, અમને તમને બધાને પ્રણામ પાઠવ્યા છે. બોલો ભારત માતા की, ભારત માતા की. ધન્યવાદ.
ખૂબ ખૂબ આભાર સાહેબ આપનો. અમને સૌને
All right, so another rally that was addressed by Prime Minister Narendra Modi in Gujarat, campaigning on in full swing ahead of the second phase of polling on the 5th of December. And BJP working relentlessly, sounding confident of a thumping victory. Anti-Hindu graffiti were painted on the walls of Jawaharlal Nehru University in Delhi. The walls of the university were defaced with casteist hate slogans. Meanwhile, the college vice-chancellor condemned the act, taking serious note of the incident. Union Minister Smriti Irani, in her first reaction to casteist hate slogans at JNU, said educational institutions are being misused by certain elements in the society. This comes after JNU walls were defaced by anti-Hindu graffiti.
मानवीय मूल्यों के संचार के लिए जाने चाहिए उन शैक्षिक संस्थानों में इस प्रकार की टिप्पणियां न सिर्फ समाज को आहत करती हैं बल्कि समाज के सामने एक प्रश्न भी उत्पन्न करती हैं कि ऐसे शैक्षिक संस्थान में इस प्रकार की गतिविधि करने वाले वो कौन लोग हैं जो जानते हैं कि वो ये दुस्साहस करेंगे और दंडित नहीं होंगे।
BJP government in MP announcing that a committee will be formed for the implementation of uniform civil code in the state. The announcement was made by Chief Minister Shivraj Singh Chauhan, where he asked why there were two personal laws in one country. He further said the time has come for the implementation of a common uniform civil code.
भारत में अब समय आ गया है कि एक समान नागरिक संहिता लागू होनी चाहिए। एक से ज्यादा शादी क्यों करे कोई? एक देश में दो विधान क्यों चले? एक ही होना चाहिए। और मध्य प्रदेश में भी मैं कमेटी बना रहा हूं। समान नागरिक संहिता, एक पत्नी रखने का अधिकार है तो एक ही पत्नी सबके लिए होनी चाहिए, फिर ज्यादा क्यों होना चाहिए?
War of words between Aam Aadmi Party and BJP seems unending. Escalating attack on Aam Aadmi Party. BJP launches video war ahead of the Delhi battle. BJP tweeted Tihar jail spoof video to hit out at the Aam Aadmi Party. In a big breakthrough, the main accused, Goldie Brar, in the Sidhu Moosewala murder probe was detained in California. Meanwhile, Punjab Chief Minister Bhagwant Mann confirmed the detention of gangster Goldie Brar, further saying that Brar will definitely be brought to India and be in the custody of Punjab police very soon.
कनाडा में एक बहुत बड़ा गैंगस्टर बैठा था जो सब गैर सामाजिक कार्रवाइयां करवा रहा था, पैसे भेज रहा था या कुछ भी। गोल्डी ब्रार, उसको अमेरिका में डिटेन कर लिया गया है।
1984 anti-Sikh rioter is the star campaigner of the Vadra Congress. Pictures on your screens of Tytler campaigning for Congress ahead of the elections. Remember, this comes even after massive protests broke out against Tytler's insult to Sikhs. Noura Fatehi appeared before the Enforcement Directorate for recording her statement in connection with an ongoing money laundering probe against alleged conman Sukesh Chandrasekhar. SP MLA Irfan Solanki and his brother Rizwan Solanki were arrested by the police today. Irfan Solanki was absconding following the issuance of a non-bailable warrant, reached the Commissioner's office to surrender earlier in the day. Sipping into a short commercial break. On the other side, getting you details of the controversy that has broken out in JNU. Yet again, casteist hate slogans painted on campus walls. Bengaluru hotel assault video shocks the nation. Demand for arrest of VVIP brat rose.
QS and THE, the world's foremost university rankings organizations, have ranked Amity amongst the top 3% universities globally, making it among the very few Indian universities to be included in both rankings. Yet another top ranking for Amity University.
Chief Minister Basavaraj Bommai, as we'd been reporting earlier, is set to visit Belgavi on the 2nd of December. Bommai will visit the bordering village of Belgavi.
The Delhi Liquor Gate. Now, the Enforcement Directorate has now arrested Amit Arora. Now, remember, it's his 6th arrest in the case.
The joint operation for the BSF as well as the Punjab Police, as they have recovered 5 AK rifles, 5 pistols and 9 magazines that have been recovered from the Firozpur area.
The report exposes how Robert Vadra and Huda's family conspired together in a multi-crore scam.
Mr. Malia, why are the questions bothering you when I'm not getting a single answer? The entire disputed land will be handed over to the Hindu parties to make a Ram temple.
The mental torture of Jadhav that is consistently happening there, it's a very clear indication about how these confessions are actually doctored and taken. Delhi High Court has said the riots in 2020 evidently did not happen in the spur of the moment.
we see a split verdict in the Supreme Court, the one thing that needs to be understood is what is going to happen ahead.
Bajrang Dal staging protests over the comment made by the Israeli filmmaker and anger that is growing across the nation over the insult to Kashmiri Pandits.
Bilkis Bano has now moved the Supreme Court over the release of 11 convicts was challenged in the Supreme Court. Bilkis demanded to send everyone back to jail.
From Dibrugarh University, case of ragging had shocked the entire country.
As Gujarat goes to polls on the 1st of December, 89 of 180.
The Enforcement Directorate on Thursday summoned Noora Fatehi on her role in the 200 crore Sukesh Chandrasekhar conman case. Now, it is interesting to note that another Bollywood starlet, Jacqueline Fernandez, has already been made as the co-accused in this case. But so far, Noora Fatehi, who has already made her name in Bollywood, has not been grilled so much by the Enforcement Directorate as well as the Delhi Police Economic Offences Wing, who are also investigating this matter. So it will now be interesting to see that whether this questioning by the Enforcement Directorate from Noora Fatehi result in increasing the troubles of Noora Fatehi, or will it result in her getting away from this case. Now, there is a lot of questioning which is being done by the Enforcement Directorate as well as the Delhi police officials in determining the role of Jacqueline Fernandez as well as Noora Fatehi, and determining that whether these Bollywood starlets were receiving gifts from the proceeds of crime generated by Sukesh Chandrasekhar. Now, the trial for Jacqueline Fernandez is already going, but Noora Fatehi so far has not been able to get affected so much in this case. Yet, it will be interesting to see that now, will the troubles of Noora Fatehi also increase? Just days before this questioning, a very close aide of conman Sukesh Chandrasekhar named Pinky Rani was arrested by the Delhi Police Economic Offences Wing. So again, it will be now very interesting to see that what this questioning from Noora Fatehi will be able to result in Economic Offences Wing of Delhi Police as well as the Enforcement Directorate really getting the vital evidence against not only conman Sukesh Chandrasekhar but also others who are involved in this case. With Vijay Mahindra, this is Piyush Ohri reporting for Republic TV.
Time now for a short break. On the other side, Smriti Irani has hit out saying we know exactly who is pushing the hate narrative in JNU. Also, Vadra Congress outraging the Sikh community again after making riot-tainted Jagdish Titler the star campaigner in the MCD polls in Delhi.
मेरी नजरों से चुना, तेरी हरकतों से सुना,
वो सपना जो बुना, तुझे लगा गुनगुना।
कभी जीती तू, कभी मैं हारा, फिर भी खूबसूरत है ये नजारा, क्योंकि इसमें है खुला
कुछ मेरा, कुछ तुम्हारा।
इसलिए ग्रीन लैम लैमिनेट्स, सपने आपके, लैमिनेट्स हमारा। अमेजिंग स्पेसेस के लिए कुछ मेरा, कुछ तुम्हारा।
These are the Kashmiri Pandit. They are staging protests because they are feeling the similar kind of situation what they faced in 1990s in the Kashmir. And they are saying one thing that is very clear, that those who are trying to portray that the Kashmir Files movie was a propaganda, they are trying to just portray and give a clean sheet to those who have been culprits of the genocide of the Kashmiri Pandits.
Where 6 people have been reported dead and 15 injured in a collision between a road-based bus and a truck in Tapesipa in Bahraich. Former Food and Civil Supplies and Consumer Affairs Minister Bharat Bhushan Anshu arrested by the Punjab Vigilance Bureau in connection with the 2,000 crore food grain transportation scam.
Dibrugarh University on the ragging case there, which has caused serious concern and which has escalated. Dibrugarh police have arrested another student.
A high voltage battle which will decide the nation's political trajectory. Who will break their records and which faces will be the winners?
89 out of the 182 seats go to polls. Stay tuned to India's election news headquarters
as Gujarat goes to polls. Live coverage minute by minute
all day today on Republic.
Chief Minister Basavaraj Bommai, as we'd been reporting earlier, is set to visit Belgavi on the 2nd of December. Bommai will visit the bordering village of Belgavi.
The Delhi Liquor Gate. Now, the Enforcement Directorate has now arrested Amit Arora. Now, remember, it's the 6th arrest in the case.
The joint operation for the BSF as well as the Punjab Police, as they have recovered 5 AK rifles, 5 pistols and 9 magazines that have been recovered from the Firozpur area.
The report exposes how Robert Vadra and Huda's family conspired together in a
Thank you for staying with Republic. And the story that is making headlines from Karnataka. BJP leader K.C. Ramachandra's son Dhanush, who is in big trouble. He's been booked for allegedly assaulting restaurant employees at Bengaluru's Electronic City on Thursday. This after the hotel had refused to serve him food because it was time for them to shut down. Growing demand to arrest Dhanush. My colleague Prajwal, who spoke to his father, K.C. Ramachandra. Listen in.
Now, it has been over 10 days since an assault case has been reported from the Electronic City police station regarding one of the BJP leader's son going on to assault the hotel staff and workers of a hotel called as The Village. We have the father of Mr. Dhanush, the BJP leader itself. Let's go across and ask him as to what exactly happened and what are his clarifications. Sir, ಈಗ ಒಂದು ವಿಡಿಯೋಗಳು ಓಡಾಡ್ತಿದೆ ಮಾಧ್ಯಮ ಜಾಲತಾಣದಲ್ಲಿ ಮತ್ತೆ ಸುದ್ದಿ ಮಾಧ್ಯಮದಲ್ಲಿ. ಅದು ನಿಮ್ಮ ಮಗ ಬಂದು ಒಂದು 15 ಜನ ಹುಡುಗರ ಜೊತೆ ಈ ಹೋಟ್ಲ್ ಅವ್ರನ್ನ ಹೋಗಿ ಅಸಾಲ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು ಅಂತ ಅಂದು. ಈ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಏನ್ ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ ಸರ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿವರೆಗೂ? ಮತ್ತೆ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಮಗನ್ನ ಮಾತಾಡಕ್ಕೆ ಪ್ರಯತ್ನ ಪಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀರಾ ಸರ್ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಮಗನ ಜೊತೆ?
20/11/2022 ರಾತ್ರಿ ನನ್ನ ಮಗಂದು ಬರ್ತ್ಡೇ ಇತ್ತು. ಆ ಬರ್ತ್ಡೇ ಇದ್ದಂಥ ಸನ್ನಿವೇಶದಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಮನೇಲಿ ಫುಡ್ ಅರೇಂಜ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದ ಅವನೇನೆ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದು ಸ್ಥಳೀಯವಾಗಿ ಬಂದಿರತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಫ್ರೆಂಡ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲನೂ ಇಲ್ಲೇ ವಿಶ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಊಟ ಮಾಡಿ ಹೊಂಟ್ರು. ಒಂದು 10-10:30 ಟೈಮ್ಗೆ ಸಿಟಿಯಿಂದ ಒಂದು 20-15 ಜನ ಹುಡುಗರು ಬಂದರು. ಅವ್ರು ಬಂದು ವಿಶ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಊಟಕ್ಕೇನೋ ಹೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಹೊಟ್ಟದ ನನಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿರೋ ಮಾಹಿತಿ, ನಾನೇನು ನೋಡ್ದಾನಂತಲ್ಲ, ಮಾಹಿತಿ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ. ಆಗ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅವ್ರನ್ನ ಹೋಟೆಲ್ನ ಕನ್ಫರ್ಮ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಊಟ ಇದೆ ಬನ್ನಿ ಅಂತ ಕರೆದಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಇವ್ರು ಹೋಗಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಇವ್ರು 15 ಜನ ಇದ್ರು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಅವರು ರೆಫ್ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ನಾವು ಕೇಳಿದಾಗ ಊಟಕ್ಕೆ ಬನ್ನಿ ಅರೇಂಜ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ ಅಂತೇಳಿ ಯಾಕೆ ಇದು ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ ಅಂತ ಮಾತು ಬೆರ್ತಿದೆ. ಬೆರ್ತಂಥ ಸನ್ನಿವೇಶದಲ್ಲಿ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಥಳೀಯವಾಗಿ ಯಾರೂ ಇರಲಿಲ್ಲ.
And we cut across to breaking news coming in. Jaivir Shergill has now officially joined the BJP. Former Congress Neta from Punjab, who is now a part of the BJP. He's been inducted officially into the party. This comes as a big setback to the Congress yet again, at a time when we see a lot of their veterans jumping ship to join the BJP. This is former Congress leader Jaivir Shergill, who is now a part of the Saffron Party. He has been inducted. We'll put out that official document on your screens, which clearly states that he is now a part of the BJP. He's been inducted. And This has been done in the presence of JP Nadda, BJP National President, where the go-ahead has come. Jaiveer Shergill is now part of the BJP. Trying to get you further details of how he has gone about doing this. Aishwarya Kapoor, Executive Editor Politics, with me on the phone line. Aishwarya, tell us more. Jaiveer Shergill, now a part of the BJP. What were his reasons of jumping ship? And most importantly, a big setback to the Congress benefiting the BJP.
Well, at this point of time, after Jairam Ramesh being given the media cell, there were several senior Congress leaders who were really unhappy with this decision. Jaiveer Shergill being...
वो भाजपा के संकल्प को भलीभांति जानती हैं कि पुनः सरकार बनाने के बाद प्रदेश में भाजपा की सरकार गुजरात की बेटियों को केजी से लेकर पीजी तक मुफ्त शिक्षा की व्यवस्था करने वाली है। साथ ही गुजरात की महिलाएं ये जानती हैं कि कक्षा 9 से लेकर 12 तक बेटियों को पुनः सरकार बनाने के बाद मुफ्त की साइकिल भी प्राप्त होने वाली है। ये भी अभिनंदनीय है कि गुजरात की महिला इस बात का समर्थन करती है कि जो EWS श्रेणी की हमारी बेटियां हैं उनका मेरिट लिस्ट में आने के बाद ये अधिकार बनेगा कि वो मुफ्त की इलेक्ट्रिक स्कूटी भाजपा सरकार द्वारा प्रदेश में प्राप्त करें। विशेषतः जो हमारी सीनियर सिटीजन बहनें हैं उनको यातायात की दृष्टि से पूरे प्रदेश में पुनः भारतीय जनता पार्टी की सरकार बनने के बाद यातायात की बस में मुफ्त सुविधा भाजपा की सरकार दिलवाएगी। ये जानकर ऐसी बहनें आनंदित हैं और विशेषतः पारिवारिक दृष्टि से जनता के मध्य में जब हम जा रहे हैं तो जनता जनार्दन भाजपा के संकल्प की भी सराहना कर रही है कि आयुष्मान भारत की योजना के अंतर्गत एक तरफ भारत सरकार 5 लाख रुपए तक का स्वास्थ्य का संरक्षण दे रही है, दूसरी ओर पुनः भाजपा की प्रदेश में सरकार बनाने के बाद ये राशि 5 लाख से बढ़कर भाजपा की प्रदेश सरकार 10 लाख रुपए कर देगी। इन सभी संकल्पों के चलते सरकार के प्रगतिशील और विकास के पथ पर सुदृढ़ भूमिका के चलते मैं गुजरात में ऐतिहासिक जीत हो ये संकल्प पूर्ण करने के लिए जनता जनार्दन का आभार व्यक्त करती हूँ। આજે હું આપ સૌની વચ્ચે ગુજરાતની પ્રજાને ભાજપની કાર્યકર્તા બની આભાર અને અભિનંદન વ્યક્ત કરવા ઈચ્છું છું। ભાજપના કાર્યકર્તાઓ વારંવાર કહેતા કે ફરી એકવાર અમે ગુજરાતમાં સરકાર બનાવીશું અને કાલે જ્યારે પ્રથમ ચરણની વોટિંગ થઈ ત્યારે આપ સૌ સાક્ષી છો કે એ રીતે ગુજરાતની પ્રજાએ પોલિંગ બૂથ પર આવી મત આપી ફરી એકવાર વિશ્વાસ વ્યક્ત કર્યો છે કે ગુજરાતની જનતા ઈચ્છે છે કે ભાજપની સરકાર બને। આવનારા 5 તારીખે બીજા રાઉન્ડ થશે વોટિંગની, એમાં અમે ભાજપના કાર્યકર્તાઓ નિવેદન કરીએ છીએ કે વોટર્સ પોતાનું મત આપી અધિકારની સાથે સાથે જે અમારી લોકતંત્ર પ્રત્યે જવાબદારી છે એને પણ અમે લોકો પૂર્ણ કરીએ. ગુજરાતની બહેનોએ વિશેષ ભાજપના સંકલ્પ પત્રમાં કેજીથી લઈ પીજી સુધી દીકરીઓને મુફ્ત શિક્ષણ આપનારી અમારા સંકલ્પને બહુ જ સમર્થન આપ્યું છે. વિશેષ ધોરણ 9 થી માંડીને 12 ધોરણ સુધી અમારી દીકરીઓને મફતની સાયકલ મળશે. આ સંકલ્પ સાંભળીને પણ ગુજરાતની બહેનોએ ખૂબ જ આશીર્વાદ નરેન્દ્રભાઈને અને ભારતીય જનતા પાર્ટીને આપ્યું છે. સાથે સાથ ઈડબ્લ્યુએસ કેટેગરીમાં જે દીકરી મેરિટ લિસ્ટમાં નામ જોડાવશે એને મફતની સ્કૂટી મળશે. આ સાંભળીને પણ ઘણી બધી આપણી દીકરીઓ આનંદિત થઈ છે. ભારતીય જનતા પાર્ટીની સરકાર ફરી એકવાર ગુજરાતમાં બનાયા પછી અમારી વડીલ બહેનોને ગુજરાતના મફત યાતાયાત કરવા મળશે. આ પણ વડીલ બહેનો માટે આનંદ અને સુખની વાત છે. પારિવારિક દૃષ્ટિથી ગુજરાતીઓએ ભાજપને અને ભાજપના નેતૃત્વને અભિનંદન આપ્યું છે કે મુખ્યમંત્રીના નેતૃત્વમાં
of the BJP has been chosen by the people of Gujarat.
આયુષ્માન ભારત યોજનામાં હમણાં 5 લાખ રૂપિયા અપાઈ રહ્યા છે. એ ગુજરાત પ્રદેશમાં ભાજપની સરકાર બનાયા પછી આ રાશિ 10 લાખ સુધી થઈ જશે. ભાજપના આ સંકલ્પો અને વિકાસ હેતુ ભાજપના કાર્યોને જોઈ ગુજરાતની પ્રજા જે માન સન્માન અને પ્રેમ નરેન્દ્રભાઈને આપે છે, ભાજપને આપે છે, આ બદલ અમે બધા કાર્યકર્તાઓ ગુજરાતની પ્રજાના આભારી છીએ. ફરી એકવાર ગુજરાતમાં
I'm deeply grateful for the people of Gujarat to have blessed BJP time and time again.
સંકલ્પ નથી, આખા ગુજરાતનું સંકલ્પ બની ગયું છે. अब मीडिया के जो भी मित्र प्रश्न पूछना चाहें, the floor is open for questions. लेकिन मेरा निवेदन है कि प्रश्न पूछने से पहले अगर आप अपने आप को और अपने प्रकाशन अथवा अपने चैनल को आइडेंटिफाई करें तो मेरे लिए सहूलियत होगी.
आज तक से G20 की अध्यक्षता को लेकर जयराम रमेश ने कटाक्ष किया है और कहा है कि सरकार नाटक कर रही है.
एक अंतर्राष्ट्रीय जिम्मेदारी जो भारत के वैभव को विश्व के सम्मुख प्रस्तुत करने का हर हिंदुस्तानी को मौका देता है. एक अंतर्राष्ट्रीय संकल्प.
So there you have Union Minister Smriti Irani in a press conference on the BJP's campaign in Gujarati. Viewers, we have big news coming in. A number of key appointments made by the BJP Captain Amrinder Singh and Sunil Jakhad, formerly top leaders of the Congress party in Punjab, have been appointed to the BJP's National Executive Committee by Party President Jagat Prakash Nadda. Just 5 minutes ago, we had told you how Jaivir Shergill had formally joined the BJP. He has now been made a spokesperson of the party. But the big news is that Captain Amrinder Singh, former Chief Minister of Punjab, a long-time veteran Congress leader who quit the party before the recently held assembly elections in the state, as well as Sunil Jakhad, one of the Congress's senior-most leaders in Punjab. Formerly, his father also was a top Congress leader, and they have now not only both joined the BJP, but they have also been given top posts by the party. We have accessed the appointment letter of the BJP as well, and we also have Amandeep joining us. Amandeep, 3 very key leaders of the Congress party from Punjab now in the BJP and having been given posts as well. What more can you tell us?
Well, absolutely. And the point is that according to the capability of these leaders, this post has been given to them. Sunil Jakhar, Captain Amrinder Singh are having a lot of experience regarding the politics, and in fact, when they joined BJP, it has been ensured that their experience will not get waste. And now, accordingly, this has been utilized, Ankit, and this is a very big announcement. Just because since they have joined BJP, Ankit, they are already expecting that what role and responsibility will be going to get, and in fact now it has been formally announced. Just because Captain is having a lot of experience, according to Sunil Jakhar, they both have a lot of experience regarding the politics, how to handle these kinds of positions, and in fact
Congress did not evaluate both the leaders. They basically humiliated, and they have not actually evaluated the experience of these leaders, and in fact now BJP knows how to utilize them, and BJP knows how their experience is going to be utilized for the BJP party, and that is the reason. It is a long back talks going on with the captain as well as the Sunil Jakhar regarding the positions, and in fact now it has been formally announced. Yes, Ankit.
Absolutely. So very big news there coming in from the BJP. So are we now to believe, Amandeep, that these leaders will now formally get into their new roles? Will we see them on the ground and campaigning? And also, will there be a formal ceremony? We generally see leaders join at a ceremony. Can we look forward to a spectacle as well?
Well, absolutely. Very soon it will be scheduled, Ankit, and in fact very soon, according to the party protocol, a formal ceremony will also be held and to give the responsibility for these leaders, and in fact very soon it will be scheduled, just because it is the trend of the BJP. Whatever responsibility will be given to any of the new faces, and freshly when the newly induct faces, a formal ceremony at the state level or the center level has been
Amandeep, I must interrupt you there. We need to head to Superfast, but we'll get all the details to our viewers on this. Viewers, the entire letter is on Republic World. Key posts given to 3 former Congress leaders. I thank Amandeep for joining us. Viewers, hello and welcome. It's time to take you through the top stories today on Superfast 50 with me, Ankit Prasad. Anti-Hindu and casteist graffiti was painted on the walls of the Jawaharlal Nehru University campus in New Delhi. The walls of the university were defaced with casteist hate threats. Meanwhile, the college vice-chancellor condemned the act, taking serious note of the incident. In a big breakthrough, the Supreme Court judge, or rather a Supreme Court judge, has filed a complaint against the JNU hate slogans. Condemning the act, the advocate Vineet Jindal said that JNU is becoming a hate factory. Union Minister Smriti Irani, in her first response to the casteist hate slogans at the JNU, said that educational institutions are being misused by certain elements in society. This comes after JNU's walls were defaced with anti-Hindu and casteist graffiti.
मानवीय मूल्यों के संचार के लिए जाने चाहिए। उन शैक्षिक संस्थानों में इस प्रकार की टिप्पणियां न सिर्फ समाज को आहत करती हैं, बल्कि समाज के सामने एक प्रश्न भी उत्पन्न करती हैं कि ऐसे शैक्षिक संस्थान में इस प्रकार की गतिविधि करने वाले वो कौन लोग हैं जो जानते हैं कि वो ये दुस्साहस करेंगे और दंडित नहीं होंगे।
The ABVP president, in an exclusive conversation with Republic, condemned the rampant vandalism of academic spaces by alleged communist goons. Moreover, he said that academic spaces must be used for debates and discussion and not for poisoning the society and students' community.
तो हमने बार डीन्स हो या फिर वीसी मैडम हो या फिर जो भी अथॉरिटी हो, वहाँ पर लगातार रिक्वेस्ट किया है कि आप चाहे सीए वाला आंदोलन को देखें, उस समय भी ये भद्र बातें लिखी गई थी, उसके बाद आप देखिए वंदना मिश्रा मैम जो कि JNU की फैकल्टी है, 8 नवंबर 2019 को उनको 4 दिन के लिए कैद कर लिया था अपनी मूवमेंट के दौरान लेफ्ट ने। आज सेम फैकल्टी के ऊपर इंटिमिडेट करने के लिए, उनको डराने के लिए डॉक्टर प्रवेश चौधरी सर के ऊपर चैम्बर के आगे, डॉक्टर नलिनी महापात्रा सर के चैम्बर के आगे ऐसी अभद्र बातें लिखी गई है।
In a big breakthrough, the main accused in the Sidhu Moosewala murder probe, Goldie Brar, was detained in California in the United States. He's allegedly been detained under the American anti-terror law. Meanwhile, Punjab Chief Minister Bhagwant Mann confirmed the detention of gangster Goldie Brar. Touting his administration's law and order, Mann added that Brar will definitely be brought back to India and will be in the custody of the Punjab police very soon.
कि जो कनाडा में एक बहुत बड़ा गैंगस्टर बैठा था जो सब गैर सामाजिक कार्रवाइयाँ करवा रहा था, पैसे भेज रहा था या कुछ भी, गोल्डी ब्रार, उसको अमेरिका में डिटेन कर लिया गया है।
Announced that a committee will be formed for the implementation of the Uniform Civil Code in the state. The announcement was made by Chief Minister Shivraj Singh Chauhan, where he asked why there were two personal laws in one country. He added that the time has come for the implementation of the Common Uniform Civil Code in India.
कि भारत में अब समय आ गया है कि एक समान नागरिक संहिता लागू होनी चाहिए। एक से ज्यादा शादी क्यों करे कोई? एक देश में दो विधान क्यों चले? एक ही होना चाहिए। और मध्य प्रदेश में भी मैं कमेटी बना रहा हूं। समान नागरिक संहिता, एक पत्नी रखने का अधिकार है तो एक ही पत्नी सबके लिए होनी चाहिए, फिर ज्यादा क्यों होना चाहिए?
The war of words between the Aam Aadmi Party and the BJP seems unending now in the last few days before the MCD polls, escalating its attack on the AAP. The BJP launched a video war ahead of the Delhi battle, tweeting a Tihar jail spoof video to hit out at Satyendra Jain's time in jail. Jagdish Tytler, an anti-Sikh 1984 riots accused, is the star campaigner of the Vadra Congress in Delhi, and Tytler has now been campaigning for the Congress ahead of the MCD polls as well. Remember, this comes even after massive protests broke out against Tytler's inclusion being called an insult to Sikhs. Actor Noora Fatehi appeared before the Enforcement Directorate for recording her statement in connection with an ongoing money laundering probe against alleged conman Sukesh Chandrasekhar. Viewers, we have breaking news coming in with regards to Australian cricket legend and former captain Ricky Ponting, whom we are told has been hospitalized. Ricky Ponting, former captain of Australia, winner of World Cups, has been hospitalized. He fell sick during commentary duties in Perth. He was taken to the hospital. We are told there are initial reports coming in that he is now feeling better, but he was taken off commentary duties. He was rushed to the hospital. This is Ricky Ponting, a player whom Indians know very well. He's had a long association with the IPL as well, and before that he was a household name across India during his playing days, most notably in the 2003 World Cup final. It was he who led to Australia beating India in that final. He has been hospitalized right now. He's a person who is known to keep fit and keep active. So we are really waiting to learn more details of why Ricky Ponting was rushed to hospital. This allegedly happened during commentary duties in Perth in Australia. So he was on commentary duty in his home country. He apparently fell sick and he was then hospitalized. What we are picking up is that he may be feeling better, but we'll await confirmation on that. Ricky Ponting is a face who is frequent at most cricket tournaments. I believe at this point he has been on commentary duties in the Australian local leagues. Viewers, will be back with more details on this. Coming back, viewers, to Superfast 50, the BJP brat Dhanush is still on the loose and the demand has only grown for him to be arrested. Remember, Dhanush, the son of a Karnataka BJP leader, had absconded, and it's been 11 days since he led an assault on a restaurant staff in Bengaluru after they refused to serve him. Samajwadi Party MLA Irfan Solanki and his brother Rizwan Solanki were arrested by the police. Irfan Solanki, who was absconding following the issuance of a non-bailable warrant against him, himself reached the police commissioner's office to surrender earlier in the day. Madhya Pradesh Home Minister Narottam Mishra has also supported Chief Minister Shivraj Singh Chauhan's announcement on a uniform civil code in the state while taking a dig at the Congress party simultaneously.
अब वक्त आ गया है जब एक विधान और एक संविधान और एक राष्ट्र के साथ में हम आगे बढ़ें। सुप्रीम कोर्ट की साहबाना जी को सुप्रीम कोर्ट से जीतने के बाद भी आपने हरा दिया था तुष्टीकरण की राजनीति के कारण से। ये तुष्टीकरण की राजनीति ने देश को बहुत नुकसान किया है। मैं तो आदरणीय कमलनाथ जी से भी निवेदन करूंगा कि उनको भी समान नागरिक संहिता पर अपनी राय को स्पष्ट रूप से जनता के सामने रखना चाहिए।
Maharashtra Deputy Chief Minister Devendra Fadnavis has stated that as of now there is no plan for a uniform civil code in Maharashtra, but that the Shinde government will think of UCC implementation indeed.
तो मुझे लगता है कि धीरे धीरे सभी राज्यों को ये करना भी पड़ेगा। महाराष्ट्र भी उचित समय पर इसके बारे में सोचेगा। आज मैं उसके बारे में आधिकारिक घोषणा इसलिए नहीं करता हूं क्योंकि इस प्रकार की कोई भी घोषणा करने का अधिकार मुख्यमंत्री का होता है, लेकिन मुझे यह लगता है कि संविधान ने हम पर यह जिम्मेदारी डाली है कि हम अपने राज्यों में यूनिफॉर्म सिविल कोड लाएं।
Union Minister Smriti Irani is on the campaign trail in Gujarat ahead of the second phase of Gujarat polls. In an exclusive conversation with Republic, Smriti Irani has reacted to the hate graffiti at the JNU campus while speaking to Republic. The National Investigation Agency or NIA has arrested absconding terrorist Harpreet Singh when he arrived from Kuala Lumpur in Malaysia. The Bombay High Court is likely to pronounce its verdict today on an application filed by Lieutenant Colonel Purohit seeking discharge from the 2008 Malegaon blast case. After Prime Minister Modi's 50-kilometer roadshow in Ahmedabad on Thursday, he's also addressed mega rallies in Gujarat today. Speaking in Patan, Prime Minister said that his double-engine government will work for and with the people. Multiple cases of cyber theft have been reported from the HSR layout police station in Bengaluru. Fraudsters have targeted senior citizens in the guise of bank agents over phone calls. Over 10 to 12 victims have been swindled of lakhs of rupees, we are told.
First thought any call you receive, you should get is that when the bank or the company has all your details, if you have an account, why the company or the bank will call you? That is the first thing which you have to ponder over it. So that is the the gullibility issue which they exploit. So I want to alert all the senior citizens more specifically to be careful when they receive such complaints, not heed to that kind of calls, nor they become victims of this kind of complaints.
After Prime Minister Modi's 50-kilometer roadshow in Ahmedabad, he will address a Vijay Sankalp Sammelan today in Gujarat as part of the 4 rallies that he is to address today across the state. The Supreme Court quashed the Kerala High Court order granting anticipatory bail to 4 people, including a former Director General of Police, in the case of alleged framing of scientist Nambi Narayan in the 1994 ISRO espionage case. The Vilnius port owners approached the Kerala High Court seeking protection of their assets, demanding central forces to be deployed for the protection of the port and its facilities, which had come under attack in a huge protest a few days ago. The state government said that it is open to deploying central forces, but only at critical assets and not all over Vilnius. Trouble seems to be spiraling for Satyendra Jain as key details of Jain's jail report have now come out, suggesting that he violated norms and rules of the prison and misused his official position to enjoy special treatment and facilities. After the shocking details of Aam Aadmi Party leader Satyendra Jain's jail probe emerged, the BJP has lashed out at the AAP minister.
Firstly, it is confirmed that not one but two child rapists, those accused under POCSO Act, were giving massage and malish, head massage, champi to Satyendra Jain. These were being called as physiotherapists by Arvind Kejriwal ji. But it is clear from the report that they had no experience in physiotherapy. Apart from that, there were more inmates who were giving special services to Arvind Kejriwal, and not because they wanted to, but because they were being pressurized and had been forced, and there was pressure being put by the jail administration.
The Punjab Police and BSF in a joint search operation have recovered a hexacopter drone equipped with modern technology and packets containing heroin weighing 5 kilos from fields near the Indo-Pakistan border. In an update, the post-narco test of Shraddha's killer Aftab has also been completed today. Remember, Aftab admitted to having killed and strangled Shraddha during his narco test that took place yesterday. The Kulgam police busted an extortion racket and arrested 5 robbers who were impersonating terrorists with fake weapons. The police received multiple complaints from the residents of being threatened by these quote-unquote terrorists. AIUDF chief Badruddin Ajmal has sparked a mega controversy by claiming that Hindus must learn from Muslims and marry their children early or else they have illegal affairs. The misogynist comment by Ajmal sparked a mega controversy. Prime Minister Narendra Modi addressed a public rally in Gujarat's Patan and took on the Congress party, which he said has looted the country. He also told the people of Gujarat that their son, that is himself, is looking out for them from Delhi. Pakistan's new Chief of Army Staff, General Asim Munir, has made his first major reshuffle, appointing a DG-ISPR, the head of Pakistan's Inter-Services Public Relations military propaganda vehicle. In Andhra Pradesh, 2 lorries collided with each other and caught fire, claiming the lives of 4 people. The accident took place on the Pratipadu National Highway in Kakinada. The AIADMK staged a hunger strike in Coimbatore against issues including fuel price, power tariffs, inflation and others in the state. The Jammu and Kashmir police and army recovered arms and ammunition along with 10 packets of narcotics like heroin along the LOC in Kamalkot and Uri areas of North Kashmir's Baramulla district. In a shocking video from a government primary school in Tamil Nadu, class 4 students from the scheduled caste community were forced to clean bathrooms and pipes by the school's headmistress. The headmistress has now been suspended. A government-run law college took 6 teachers, including 4 Muslims, off duty temporarily after the ABVP accused them of promoting fundamentalism and negative thoughts about the government and the army. Bihar's Chief Minister Nitish Kumar said that there are enormous possibilities for filmmaking in Bihar, and his government has taken several measures to promote movie production in the state. A group of visiting UK lawmakers met with Taiwanese leader Tsai Ing-wen on Friday for discussions on security in the region and firming the relationship between the United Kingdom and Taiwan. South Korea on Friday sanctioned 8 North Korean individuals and 7 organizations suspected of engaging in illicit activities to finance the North's growing nuclear weapons and missiles program. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky marked on Thursday the 31-year anniversary of the referendum unifying Ukrainian regions, and after the collapse of the erstwhile Soviet Union, he also announced a government initiative to ban all religious organizations with ties to the Russian Orthodox Church. At least 2 civilians were killed and 6 others wounded nationwide by the latest Russian shelling in Ukraine. As per the Ukraine president's office, electricity was cut off in the recently liberated Ukrainian city of Kherson, causing residents to flee from there as well, we are told. In a big statement by US President Joe Biden on the Russia-Ukraine war, Biden said that America is ready to hold talks with Russia, but only if it wants to end its invasion. After massive backlash and week-long protests against the strict zero-COVID policy, China is all set to loosen COVID curbs, we are told. China will reportedly ease COVID restrictions and reduce mass testing after mass protests. Amid the ongoing Russia-Ukraine war, France's President Emmanuel Macron and US President Joe Biden held talks during Macron's state visit to Washington. Both the countries accused Russia of war crimes in Ukraine. French President Macron also met US Vice President Kamala Harris at the headquarters of NASA in Washington, D.C. During the meeting, they discussed space exploration and agreed on strengthening US-France space cooperation across civil, commercial, and national security sectors. Several cities in Peru are experiencing severe drought-like situation. Residents of Peru have complained of facing the brunt of drought since the past few days, with no action taken by the authorities to provide them relief despite all their complaints. Rivers of glowing lava oozing from the world's largest active volcano, Mauna Loa, could swallow the main highway linking the east and west coasts of Hawaii's Big Island as early as this weekend, and there appears to be nothing that humans can do to stop it, according to experts. Hungary is increasingly running into petrol and diesel shortages. At hundreds of fuel stations across Hungary, a confusing mosaic of paper signs hangs from the pumps, we are told, to let customers know what is available and not available and what price and quantity. Finland's Prime Minister Sanna Marin warned on Friday that if Russia wins the war in Ukraine, other countries will feel empowered to do the same. Arab fans rejoiced as their final representative Morocco qualified for the next stage of the FIFA World Cup. Fans took to the streets celebrating the country's win. And Japanese and Spanish fans celebrated their teams progressing to the round of 16 on Thursday as they were leaving the Khalifa International Stadium in Doha, draped in their team's football paraphernalia. The Spanish and especially the Japanese fans were in a jubilant mood.
Bajrang Dal staging protests over the comment made by the Israeli filmmaker and anger that is growing across the nation over the insult to Kashmiri Pandits.
Bilkis Bano has now moved the Supreme Court over the release of 11 convicts was challenged in the Supreme Court. Bilkis demanded to send everyone back to jail.
From Dibrugarh University, case of ragging had shocked the entire country.
As Gujarat goes to polls on the 1st of December, 89 of 182 seats will vote.
Where high voltage political battle has broken out in the state of Gujarat since the bipolarity of the state.
Will the BJP score a record victory in Gujarat? Is the Aam Aadmi Party even a factor?
Politics has been challenged for the first time. Watch the fastest updates only on India's election headquarters
on Republic TV.
These are the Kashmiri Pandits. They are staging protests because they are feeling the similar kind of situation what they faced in 1990s in the Kashmir. And they are saying one thing that is very clear, that those who are trying to portray that the Kashmir Files movie was a propaganda, they are trying to just portray and give a clean sheet to those who have been culprits of the genocide of the Kashmiri Pandits.
Where 6 people have been reported dead and 15 injured in a collision between a road-based bus and a truck in Tapesipa in Bahraich. Former Food and Civil Supplies and Consumer Affairs Minister Bharat Bhushan Anshu arrested by the Punjab Vigilance Bureau in connection with the 2,000 crore food grain transportation scam.
Dibrugarh University on the ragging case there, which has caused serious concern and which has escalated. Dibrugarh police have arrested another student.
A high voltage battle which will decide the nation's political trajectory. Who will break their records and which faces will be the winners?
89 out of the 182 seats go to polls. Stay tuned to India's election news headquarters
as Gujarat goes to polls. Live coverage minute by minute all day today on Republic.
Waterlogging has increased in the last 3 to 4 hours. Elphinstone station is shut, which means all those people who are hoping to go back home. When you look at that crowd, what's the message that Houston is sending out? There is also anticipation of a few announcements being made. What are your expectations when they both come up on stage? Are you expecting something big? I'm at the Jama Masjid in Bandra and there are thousands of people behind me. Why they are protesting, but the situation is pretty tense. Thousands of people that you see. 4 दिन की रिमांड है, 4 दिन की रिमांड. कुछ कहना चाहते हैं आप? पत्राचौल स्कैम, मनी लॉन्ड्रिंग का चार्ज के बारे में क्या बोलना चाहते हैं आप?
Massive controversy as JNU walls defaced with anti-Hindu hate slogans. Union Minister Smriti Irani hits out, says we know who is pushing the hate narrative. Anger among the Sikh community as 1984 anti-Sikh riots accused Tytler is Congress's star campaigner for the MCD polls. Almost a fortnight after the assault on restaurant staff in Bengaluru, BJP leader's son still absconding. Sidhu Moosewala murder probe widens. Gangster Goldie Bra detained in America. Will he be extradited? Jaiveer Shergill made BJP national spokesperson. Captain Amrinder and Sunil Jhakar made a part of the BJP's national executive.
Thank you for staying with Republic. And well, there is a massive controversy after JNU walls were defaced with anti-Hindu hate slogans. The Vice Chancellor has taken serious note of the incident of defacement of walls and faculty rooms by some unknown elements in SIS JNU. The Dean of School of International Studies and Grievances Committee has been asked to inquire and submit a report to the Vice Chancellor at the earliest. We have several voices coming in on this. Let's listen in.
Once again, Jawaharlal University is in controversy, and this time because of the anti-Brahmin, anti-Bunya sloganings those have been put up here. Remember that the walls have been defaced here inside the premises, and right now we are showing you the pictures of those walls which reads Brahmins leave the campus, and similar sort of slogans have been put up there on the other wall also, which reads there will be blood. So these slogans have now been put up here, and now walls have been defaced inside the JNU campus. This is not the first time when JNU is in controversy. Earlier also we have seen similar sort of controversies taking place, and this time again because of the slogans those have been put up here has now raised a lot of questions. Right now I'm also joined with ABVP President Rohit. Let me try to get in a word from him and understand about these slogans. रोहित का पता चला आपको किस तरह के स्लोगन जो है यहाँ पर लिखे गए?
जी नमस्ते. कल सुबह ऐसे प्रोफेसर्स के चैम्बर में लिखा और यहाँ G20 का जो इंडिया की प्रेसिडेंसी थी उसको लेकर के सेमिनार कर रहे थे, तब उनके लिए तमाम चीज़ें देखी. उसके बाद तुरंत हमने यहाँ के गुंडा पुलिस उनको कंप्लेंट किया और संस्था के चेयरपर्सन को कंप्लेंट किया। ऐसी तमाम चीज़ें स्कूल ऑफ लैंग्वेज में भी देखी गई, रिपोर्ट की गई और स्कूल ऑफ सोशल साइंसेज में भी देखी गई। तो ये वो जो लोग हैं, आप क्लियर देख सकते हैं, इस बिल्डिंग में 2 फ्लोर्स पे ऐसी चीज़ें लिखी गई हैं। इसके बाद आप स्कूल ऑफ सोशल साइंसेज में देखेंगे एक सेम पैटर्न नज़र आता है, जो आप जेनोसाइड की बात करना, खून की बात करना, कैंपस छोड़ो, या फिर तुम्हें तुमसे हम बदला लेंगे, बदिया लोग तुमसे हम बदला लेंगे, ब्राह्मण से हम बदला लेंगे। तो ऐसी चीज़ें लगातार होती आई हैं। आप अलग अलग स्कूल्स में देखेंगे, इसी स्कूल में पेंट्री के बगल में आप देखेंगे लिखा खून से हम होली खेलेंगे।
इससे पहले भी इस तरह के स्लोगन लिखे गए हैं और ये सिर्फ ब्राह्मण समुदाय के खिलाफ नहीं है, कुछ स्लोगन ऐसे भी आए हैं इसमें बनियों के खिलाफ भी किया। क्या मानते हैं क्यों इस तरह के स्लोगन लिखे जा रहे हैं?
ये अभी चूँकि फ्रेशर्स आए हैं और ये अपना मसल और मनी पावर दिखाना चाह रहे हैं लेफ्ट के लोग। और इसमें से मैं एक बात बताना चाहूँगा, डॉक्टर वंदना मिश्रा मैम के भी चैम्बर के आगे लिखा है कि वही प्रोफेसर है जिनको उन्होंने 8 नवंबर 2019 को 3 दिन के लिए बंधक बनाया था, हॉस्टल बनाया था। फिर से ये इंटिमिडेट करने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं, डराने और धमकाने की कोशिश की जा रही है। तो हमारा मानना है कि जो एकेडमिक स्पेसेस है, जैसे क्लास चल रही है, वैसी चीज़ों के लिए होना चाहिए, ना कि ऐसे जहर और समाज में जहर और वैमनस्य फैलाने के लिए होना चाहिए।
So now BJP is saying that this attempt has been done to spread some sort of positiveness in the society and that should be avoided. If you talk about the administration, so far administration has now ordered a high-level probe in this. We'll have to wait and watch what comes out of this entire investigation. This is Kushan Trying, JNU for Public TV.
Meanwhile, the BJP has reacted strongly, saying we know who's pushing the hate narrative. Listen in to responses that have come in from Union Ministers Smriti Irani and Meenakshi Lekhi.
इतना ही कहूँगी कि जो शैक्षिक संस्थान संस्कार का संचार करने के संस्थान हैं, मानवीय मूल्यों के संचार के लिए जाने चाहिए, उन शैक्षिक संस्थानों में इस प्रकार की टिप्पणियां न सिर्फ समाज को आहत करती हैं बल्कि समाज के सामने एक प्रश्न भी उत्पन्न करती हैं कि ऐसे शैक्षिक संस्थान में इस प्रकार की गतिविधि करने वाले वो कौन लोग हैं जो जानते हैं कि वो ये दुस्साहस करेंगे और दंडित नहीं होंगे।
I mean, I feel usage of any derogatory word against any community is a bad thing and should not happen. We are all Indians and Indians need to stand by each other irrespective of their caste, color or creed. I mean, if you see my surname, it's Lekhi. A few hundred years ago, we'd given up the caste system.
Also, we have seen such sloganeering and also the defacement of walls. It keeps on happening. Do you think the strong actions?
I definitely believe and think that wherever these things are happening, and if it's an educational institution especially, such things are to be avoided and averted, and strong action against anyone who tries to divide the community.
Last question, ABVP is alleging that left is behind this. What do you have to say on this?
No, ABVP will have better knowledge because I don't belong to campus. People who are on the campus would know exactly what has transpired and has happened.
You demand action?
I definitely want action.
JNU है, ये एक अदारा है, वहाँ किसने क्या नारा लिखा है, ब्राह्मण है या दूसरा है, मैं नहीं समझता हूँ इसके ऊपर कोई ऐसी बात है, लेकिन इंस्टीट्यूशंस हैं, कौन लिख के जाता है कोई पता नहीं ना। JNU है, ये एक अदारा है, वहाँ किसने क्या नारा लिखा है, ब्राह्मण है या दूसरा है, मैं नहीं समझता हूँ इसके ऊपर कोई ऐसी बात है, लेकिन इंस्टीट्यूशंस हैं, कौन लिख के जाता है कोई पता नहीं ना।
And those are the responses coming in. Remember, an investigation is underway to find out the suspects and those who are responsible for putting out these hate slogans. CCTV footage that is being examined, and the staffers in the campus who are being questioned. A report to the VC is to be submitted soon by the dean.
See, this training was conceptualized earlier, and we are taking it forward. It's a step in the right direction because, as you are aware, the peace is returning in Assam, and the Armed Forces Special Act is going out of many places, which is a very heartening situation. To maintain this peace, the police responsibility of the police increases. So it's a step for increasing capability of the police. Now this is a 40 weeks training what we are undergoing. We'll have basic military training in which the basics of military discipline, physical fitness, and also weapon handling would be covered. In second, advanced military training, which is of 25 weeks. This will have counter-insurgency operations, special operations, and also aspects of police, which will be covered by the police instructors. Now we have gone around and seen the arrangement. Our instructors we have chosen are right for giving the right kind of training to this very motivated recruits, which I have met them, and I can see the selection is very correct. So we can take it forward.
From time to time, as far as the counter-insurgency operation is concerned, there has been a lot of debates going on over the last many years, and it is always said and by many experts of internal security that it's always better if you put the internal security agencies mostly in the CI operations. Then also they suggest that it's always better to use the local police rather than the armed forces as far as CI operation is concerned. Do you also agree to it? And also, do you think that this specialized training being provided by the army will take that very same step much ahead?
You can't be more right than what you have said. I think the point is absolutely correct, and that has been realized because the army, while they have a secondary role in internal security situations, but it is always better that the local police and state police takes over the responsibility. So our focus is to improve the capability of state police so that army can be totally dedicated for their conventional task. So this is what is happening, and I fully agree with this.
We're slipping into a very short commercial break. On the other side, we get you details almost after a fortnight of assault on restaurant staffers. BJP Neta's son is still absconding. Meanwhile, Sidhu Moosewala murder probe widens as gangster Goldie Brar has been detained in the United States. Question being, will he be extradited next?
Chief Minister Basavaraj Bommai, as we'd been reporting earlier, is set to visit Belgavi on the 2nd of December. Bommai will visit the bordering village of Belgavi.
The Delhi Liquor Gate. Now, the Enforcement Directorate has now arrested Amit Arora. Now, remember, it's the 6th arrest in the case.
The joint operation for the BSF as well as the Punjab Police, as they have recovered 5 AK rifles, 5 pistols and 9 magazines that have been recovered from the Firozpur area.
The report exposes how Robert Vadra and Huda's family conspired together in a multi-crore scam.
Mr. Malia, why are the questions bothering you when I'm not getting a single answer? The entire disputed land will be handed over to the Hindu parties to make a Ram temple.
The mental torture of Jadhav that is consistently happening there, it's a very clear indication about how these confessions are actually doctored and taken. Delhi High Court has said the riots in 2020 evidently did not happen in the spur of the moment.
We see a split verdict in the Supreme Court. The one thing that needs to be understood is what is going to happen ahead.
Bajrang Dal staging protests over the comment made by the Israeli filmmaker and anger that is growing across the nation over the insult to Kashmiri Pandits.
Bilkis Bano has now moved the Supreme Court over the release of 11 convicts was challenged in the Supreme Court. Bilkis demanded to send everyone back to jail.
From Dibrugarh University, case of ragging had shocked the entire country.
As Gujarat goes to polls on the 1st of December, 89 of 182 seats will vote.
Where high voltage political battle has broken out in the state of Gujarat since the bipolarity of the state.
Will the BJP score a record victory in Gujarat? Is the Aam Aadmi Party even a factor?
Politics has been challenged for the first time. Watch the fastest updates only on India's election headquarters
on Republic TV. These are the Kashmiri Pandit. They are staging protests because they are feeling the similar kind of situation what they faced in 1990s in the Kashmir. And they are saying one thing that is very clear, that those who are trying to portray that the Kashmir Files movie was a
And anger is mounting over the Bengaluru assault video. The demand to arrest VVIP brat is rising with every passing day. Republic has now questioned BJP leader KC Ramachandra, whose son was seen assaulting hotel staffers after they had refused to serve him food because the hotel was shutting down. He's been absconding for 11 days now, this despite 7 who've been detained. Republic being the only channel to have spoken to his father. Listen in.
An assault case has been reported from the Electronic City police station regarding one of the BJP leader's son going on to assault the hotel staff and workers of a hotel called as The Village. We have the father of Mr. Dhanush, the BJP leader itself. Let's go across and ask him as to what exactly happened and what are his clarifications. Sir, ಈಗ ಒಂದು ವಿಡಿಯೋಗಳು ಓಡಾಡ್ತಿದೆ ಮಾಧ್ಯಮ ಜಾಲತಾಣದಲ್ಲಿ ಮತ್ತೆ ಸುದ್ದಿ ಮಾಧ್ಯಮದಲ್ಲಿ. ಅದು ನಿಮ್ಮ ಮಗ ಬಂದು ಒಂದು 15 ಜನ ಹುಡುಗರ ಜೊತೆ ಈ ಹೋಟ್ಲ್ ಅವ್ರನ್ನ ಹೋಗಿ ಅಸಾಲ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು ಅಂತ ಅಂದು. ಈ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಏನ್ ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ ಸರ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿವರೆಗೂ, ಮತ್ತೆ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಮಗನ್ನ ಮಾತಾಡಕ್ಕೆ ಪ್ರಯತ್ನ ಪಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀರಾ ಸರ್ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಮಗನ ಜೊತೆ?
20/11/2022 ರಾತ್ರಿ ನನ್ನ ಮಗಂದು ಬರ್ತ್ಡೇ ಇತ್ತು. ಆ ಬರ್ತ್ಡೇ ಇದ್ದಂಥ ಸನ್ನಿವೇಶದಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಮನೇಲಿ ಫುಡ್ ಅರೇಂಜ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದ ಅವನೇನೆ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದು ಸ್ಥಳೀಯವಾಗಿ ಬಂದಿರತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಫ್ರೆಂಡ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲನೂ ಇಲ್ಲೇ ವಿಶ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಊಟ ಮಾಡಿ ಹೊಂಟ್ರು. ಒಂದು 10-10:30 ಟೈಮ್ಗೆ ಸಿಟಿಯಿಂದ ಒಂದು 20-15 ಜನ ಹುಡುಗರು ಬಂದರು. ಅವ್ರು ಬಂದು ವಿಶ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಊಟಕ್ಕೆ ಏನೋ ಹೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಹೊಟ್ಟಂತ ನನಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿರೋ ಮಾಹಿತಿ, ನಾನೇನು ನೋಡ್ದಾನಂತಲ್ಲ, ಮಾಹಿತಿ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ. ಆಗ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅವ್ರನ್ನ ಹೋಟೆಲ್ನ ಕನ್ಫರ್ಮ್ ಮಾಡಿದ ಊಟ ಇದೆ ಬನ್ನಿ ಅಂತ ಕರೆದಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಇವ್ರು ಹೋಗಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಇವ್ರು 15 ಜನ ಇದ್ರು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಅವರು ರೆಫ್ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ನಾವು ಕೇಳಿದಾಗ ಊಟಕ್ಕೆ ಬನ್ನಿ ಅರೇಂಜ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ ಅಂತೇಳಿ ಯಾಕೆ ಇದು ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ ಅಂತ ಮಾತು ಬೆರ್ತಿದೆ. ಬೆರ್ತಂಥ ಸನ್ನಿವೇಶದಲ್ಲಿ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಥಳೀಯವಾಗಿ ಯಾರೂ ಇರಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಸ್ಥಳೀಯವಾಗಿ ನನ್ನ ಮಗ ಒಬ್ಬ, ಇನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ಹೊರಗಡೆನವರು. ಹಂಗಾಗಿ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬೆಂಗಳೂರಿನವ್ರು ಸರ್, ಬೆಂಗಳೂರು ನಿಯರ್ ಬೆಂಗಳೂರು ಸುತ್ತ. ಅಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಏನಾಗಿದೆ ಅಂದರೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನನ್ನ ಮಗನೇ ಇನ್ವಾಲ್ವ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಅವ್ರನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ಅವಾಯ್ಡ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಹೊರಗಡೆ ಕರ್ಕೊಂಬಂದಿದ್ದಾನೆ. ಇವ್ರು ಬರಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಈ 15 ಜನ ಗ್ಯಾಂಗಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವ ಹುಡುಗ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅವ್ರ ಮನಸ್ಸಿಗೆ ಬೇಸರ ಆಗೋ ರೀತಿ ನಡ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರೋ ಬಿಟ್ರೋ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ. ಅವ್ರನ್ನ ಇಬ್ಬರನ್ನ ಕರ್ಕೊಂಡು ಇವ್ರು ಒಳಗಡೆ ಕೂತ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೊಡಿತಾ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ ಇವ್ರು ಹೋಟ್ಲ್ನವರು. ಆ ಹೊಡಿತಕ್ಕ ಸನ್ನಿವೇಶದಲ್ಲಿ ಇವರು ಹೊರಗಡೆ ಬಂದವ್ರು ತಿರುಗಿ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಹೋಗಿ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಆ ಗಲಾಟೆ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಅಂಥವು ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋಂಥ ಅಸಾಲ್ಟ್ಸು ಏನೂ ಅಂಥದ್ದಾಗಿಲ್ಲ. ಯಾರ ಮನಸ್ಸು ಬೇಸರವಾಗತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಇದೂ ಆಗಿರಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಈ ನಮಗೆ ಪೊಲೀಸ್ ಸ್ಟೇಷನ್, ಪೊಲೀಸ್ ವ್ಯವಸ್ಥೆ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಗೌರವ ಇದೆ, ಮಾಧ್ಯಮದವ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಗೌರವ ಇದೆ. ಬಟ್ ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಯು ಈಸ್ ಇನ್ವಾಲ್ವ್ಡ್, ಇದ್ರ ಹಿನ್ನೆಲೆ ಏನು ಅಂತೇಳಿ ವಿಚಾರ ಇವಕ್ಕೂ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ. ನನ್ನ ಮಗ ಆ್ಯಕ್ಚುಲಿ 4 ದಿವಸ ಆಗಿದೆ ಅಬ್ಸ್ಟೆಂಡ್ ಆಗಿ. ನನ್ನೇ ರಾತ್ರಿ ಪೊಲೀಸ್ ಬಂದಿದ್ದರು. ನಾನು ಹೇಳಿದ್ದೀನಿ, ನಾನು ನಮಗೆ ಕನೆಕ್ಟಿವ್ ಇಲ್ಲ, ನಾನು ಅವನು ಕನೆಕ್ಟಿವ್ ಮಾಡಿ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ನಾನು ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ ಅಂತೇಳಿ ಒಪ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ.
So I'm just translating as to what Mr. KC Ramachandra has gone on to say. He is stating that it was Dhanush's birthday on the 20th of November and they had prepared food over here only and they had distributed it to all the villagers and the people who had come in to wish Dhanush for his birthday. But then a group of around 15 to 20 people.
All right, and other stories that are making news this afternoon. Anti-Hindu graffiti were painted on the walls of JNU campus in Delhi. The walls of the university were defaced with casteist hate slogans. Meanwhile, the college vice-chancellor has condemned the act, taking serious note of the incident. Union Minister Smriti Irani, in her first reaction to casteist hate slogans at JNU, said educational institutions are being misused by certain elements in the society. This comes after JNU walls were defaced by anti-Hindu graffiti.
मूल्यों के संचार के लिए जाने चाहिए। उन शैक्षिक संस्थानों में इस प्रकार की टिप्पणियां न सिर्फ समाज को आहत करती हैं बल्कि समाज के सामने एक प्रश्न भी उत्पन्न करती हैं कि ऐसे शैक्षिक संस्थान में इस प्रकार की गतिविधि करने वाले वो कौन लोग हैं जो जानते हैं कि वो ये दुस्साहस करेंगे और दंडित नहीं होंगे।
BJP government in Madhya Pradesh announced that a committee will be formed for the implementation of UCC in the state. The announcement was made by Chief Minister Shivraj Singh Chauhan, where he asked why there were two personal laws in one country. He further said that time has come for the implementation of Common Uniform Civil Code in India.
भारत में अब समय आ गया है कि एक समान नागरिक संहिता लागू होनी चाहिए। एक से ज्यादा शादी क्यों करे कोई? एक देश में दो विधान क्यों चलेगी? एक ही होना चाहिए। और मध्य प्रदेश में भी मैं कमेटी बना रहा हूं। समान नागरिक संहिता, एक पत्नी रखने का अधिकार है तो एक ही पत्नी सबके लिए होनी चाहिए, फिर ज्यादा क्यों होना चाहिए?
Bollywood actor Noora Fatehi appeared before the Enforcement Directorate for recording her statement in connection with the ongoing 200 crore money laundering probe against conman Sukesh Chandrasekhar and associates. Now, Noora Fatehi has been questioned by the federal agency in the past. She will be questioned about Sukesh Chandrasekhar, and her statement will be recorded under the sections of Prevention of Money Laundering Act, that is PMLA. Republic was the first to get you details of Noora Fatehi being called in for questioning this morning. And remember, questioning continues where Noora Fatehi is being asked on conman Sukesh Chandrasekhar. So after Jacqueline Fernandez, it is actor Noora Fatehi who is facing the heat of the agency and having to answer on what exactly was she aware of while she received all those gifts from alleged conman Sukesh Chandrasekhar. Remember, he has time and again distanced himself and said that his friends, that include Noora Fatehi and Jacqueline, are unaware of all that he was or his business activities. However, they had taken some very, very expensive gifts from the alleged conman Sukesh Chandrasekhar. And I want to bring in my colleague Piyush, who's with us on the broadcast. Piyush, questioning for Noora continues. On what lines is she being asked by the ED?
So yes, Suyesha, you rightly said that the questioning for Noora Fatehi continues at the Enforcement Directorate, and this has been continuing now for over 3 hours. As you rightly said that while Jacqueline Fernandez, another Bollywood starlet, has been made as the co-accused by the Enforcement Directorate in the alleged 200 crore case run by Sukesh Chandrasekhar, Noora Fatehi as of now may not have faced that much of heat from the Enforcement Directorate as well as the Delhi Police Economic Offences Wing, which is also investigating the matter. But now, since she is being questioned by Enforcement Directorate, it would be interesting to see that when the questioning ends, would the heat on Noora Fatehi actually increase or decrease from here on? So it will be now interesting to see that what would be the stance that would be taken by the investigative agencies, namely the Enforcement Directorate, as well as the Delhi Police Economic Offences Wing, which is investigating this 200 crore extortion, 200 crore con case run by Sukesh Chandrasekhar. I also want to bring to your notice that just few days back, the Delhi Police Economic Offences Wing had arrested Pinky, who was the associate of Sukesh Chandrasekhar in this case. So yes, while we are focusing on Bollywood starlet Jacqueline Fernandez in this entire case, we must also make sure that there are also other players involved in it. And the questioning by Enforcement Directorate to Noora Fatehi makes us realize that yes, there may be more players that may be involved in this 200 crore extortion case. Back to you in the studio.
All right, Piyush, tracking every development very, very closely. For the moment, thank you for joining us. We now play out a 1-minute report.
Sidhu Moosewala's murder case mastermind Goldie Barad has been detained in US, and in fact this detention is being done by the US police and FBI following the red corner notice. And in fact Goldie Barad has recently shifted his base from Canada to US, and he has been detained nearby the Salt Lake city. And in fact this confirmation has been given by Punjab Chief Minister Bhagwant Mann that the mastermind of Sidhu Moosewala murder case has been detained in US, and further procedure to bring him back in Punjab will be followed. And in fact Punjab police has also prepared a dossier against Goldie Barad, and in fact that dossier will be shared with the US government to bring him back. But finally the mastermind of Sidhu Moosewala case and the other activities happening in Punjab, Goldie Barad, has been detained in US, and in fact he was also seeking the political asylum in US itself. And meanwhile the US police and FBI have detained him nearby Salt Lake City.
Time for a short break. Our big focus this afternoon, massive controversy after JNU walls were defaced with anti-Hindu hate slogans. Also, there is anger mounting among the Sikh community after 1984 riot accused Jagdish Titler has been put out as the star campaigner for the Congress in the MCD polls.
QS&THE, the world's foremost university rankings organizations, have ranked Amity amongst the top 3% universities globally, making it among the very few Indian universities to be included in both rankings. Yet another top ranking for Amity University.
These are the Kashmiri Pandit. They are staging protests because they are feeling the similar kind of situation what they faced in 1990s in the Kashmir. And they are saying one thing that is very clear, that those who are trying to portray that the Kashmir Files movie was a propaganda, they are trying to just portray and give a clean sheet to those who have been culprits of the genocide of the Kashmiri Pandits.
Where 6 people have been reported dead and 15 injured in a collision between a road-based bus and a truck in Tapesipa in Bahraich. Former Food and Civil Supplies and Consumer Affairs Minister Bharat Bhushan Anshu arrested by the Punjab Vigilance Bureau in connection with the 2,000 crore food grain transportation scam.
Dibrugarh University on the ragging case there, which has caused serious concern and which has escalated. Dibrugarh police have arrested another student.
A high voltage battle which will decide the nation's political trajectory. Who will break their records and which faces will be the winners?
89 out of the 182 seats go to polls. Stay tuned to India's Election News headquarters
as Gujarat goes to polls. Live coverage minute by minute
all day today on Republic.
Chief Minister Basavaraj Bommai, as we'd been reporting earlier, is set to visit Belgavi on the 2nd of December. Bommai will visit the bordering village of Belgavi.
The Delhi Liquor Gate. Now, the Enforcement Directorate has now arrested Amit Arora. Now, remember, it's his 6th arrest in the case.
The joint operation for the BSF as well as the Punjab Police, as they have recovered 5 AK rifles, 5 pistols and 9 magazines that have been recovered from the Firozpur area.
The report exposes how Robert Vadra and Huda's family conspired together in a multi-crore scam.
Mr. Malia, why are the questions bothering you when I'm not getting a single answer? The entire disputed land will be handed over to the Hindu parties to make a Ram temple.
The mental torture of Jadha that is consistently.
એટલે ખાલી આનંદ આવે એવું નહીં, આનંદ આવે એટલે આનંદ તો આવે જ. આણંદ તો પ્રેરણા ભૂમિ છે, પ્રેરણા ભૂમિ છે. આણંદ એ સંકલ્પોની ભૂમિ છે. આ એ પવિત્ર ધરતી છે જ્યાં સરદાર વલ્લભભાઈ પટેલે એક ભારત શ્રેષ્ઠ ભારતનો સંકલ્પ સાકાર કર્યો. રાજા રજવાડાઓને એક કર્યા. અને આ મારું સૌભાગ્ય છે ભાઈઓ કે વિશ્વનું સૌથી ઊંચું સ્ટેચ્યુ ઓફ યુનિટી એ બનાવવાનું સૌભાગ્ય મને મળ્યું. અને આખી દુનિયામાં સરદાર સાહેબનું નામ લોક જીભે ચર્ચામાં ચડ્યું. ખાલી એની ઊંચાઈના કારણે નહીં, બાવલાની ઊંચાઈના કારણે નહીં, આ બાવલાની ઊંચાઈ પછી એના વ્યક્તિત્વની ઊંચાઈનો લોકોને સમજણ પડવા માંડી. જે લોકોએ દબાવી રાખ્યું હતું ને બધું બહાર આવવા માંડ્યું. હમણાં હું એકતાનગર ગયો હતો સરદાર સરોવર ડેમ પર, તો યુનાઇટેડ નેશન્સના સેક્રેટરી જનરલ ત્યાં આવ્યા હતા. દુનિયાના સૌથી મોટું જે સંગઠન છે એના વડા, અને મારી સાથે સરદાર સાહેબને શ્રદ્ધાંજલિ આપવા માટે આવ્યા. તો એમણે કહ્યું કે નરેન્દ્રભાઈ, મારે માટે ખરેખર આ યાત્રા સુખદ યાત્રા છે. એવું કેમ? તો કે અહીંયા આવવાનું થયું એટલે હું જરા સરદાર સાહેબ વિશે વાંચવા માંડ્યો. મારા જે લોકો મને રિપોર્ટિંગ કરતા હોય, ફીડબેક આપતા હોય પ્રવાસ પહેલા, એ મારી ટીમે અધ્યયન કર્યું. અને સરદાર સાહેબનું આટલું મોટું વ્યક્તિત્વ જો હું અહીંયા ન આવ્યો હોત તો મારું ધ્યાન જ ન ગયું હોત. અને હું તો મારું માથું ગર્વથી ભરાઈ ગયું કે આવો મહાપુરુષ આ પૃથ્વી પર થયો હતો. સરદાર સાહેબના આટલા વખાણ યુએન સેક્રેટરી જનરલે મારી સામે કર્યા. ભાઈઓ, સરદાર સાહેબની પ્રેરણા, ભારતની એકતા, આના આ ભાવને કારણે આજે ભારત દુનિયાની અંદર એક મોટી તાકાત બનતું જઈ રહ્યું છે ભાઈઓ. અને એ સત્ય છે ભાઈ, કોંગ્રેસને સરદાર સાહેબ સાથે એને સરદાર સાહેબ વાંધો અને દેશની એકતા સામે વાંધો. કારણ કે એની આખું રાજકારણ ભાગલા પાડો અને રાજ કરો આ જ હતું. અને સરદાર સાહેબનું એક કરો એનું હતું તો મેળ જ ન પડે ને. એટલે સરદાર સાહેબને ક્યારે પણ એમણે પોતાના ના ગણ્યા. તમે આ કોંગ્રેસના નેતાઓ વોટ માંગવા આવે જ તમારે ત્યાં આવે તો મારો તરફથી એક સવાલ પૂછશો, જરા મને હાથ ઊંચો કરીને પૂછશો. હું આ બધા ગુજરાતના નાગરિકોને કહું છું, કોઈ કોંગ્રેસનો નેતા આવે તો એક પ્રશ્ન પૂછજો કે આ સરદાર વલ્લભભાઈ પટેલ કોંગ્રેસમાં હતા? પહેલો પ્રશ્ન પૂછજો. પછી એમને પૂછજો કે આ સરદાર સાહેબે દેશને એક કરવાનું કામ કર્યું હતું? બીજો પ્રશ્ન પૂછજો. અને પછી ત્રીજો પ્રશ્ન પૂછજો કે સરદાર સાહેબનું સરદાર સરોવર ડેમ પર દુનિયાનું સૌથી મોટું સ્મારક બન્યું છે, તમે કોઈ વાર જઈ આવ્યા ખરા? ત્યાં પગે લાગી આવ્યા? કોંગ્રેસના લોકોએ ત્યાં જવું જોઈએ કે નહીં ભાઈઓ? સરદાર સાહેબને શ્રદ્ધાંજલિ આપવી જોઈએ કે ના આપવી જોઈએ? સરદાર સાહેબનો આદર કરવો જોઈએ કે ના કરવો જોઈએ? આ મોદીએ સરદાર સાહેબનું પુતળું બનાવ્યું એટલે સરદાર સાહેબ જોડે તમને આપડ છે જ ભાઈ. આવી કોંગ્રેસને સજા કરવી પડે કે ના કરવી પડે? આ વખતે આણંદ જિલ્લો એકતા બતાવીને આ સરદાર સાહેબનું અપમાન કરનારાઓને સજા કરશે કે નહીં કરે? ભાઈ ભાઈઓ બહેનો, આ કોંગ્રેસ પાર્ટી આપણા ગુજરાતમાં શું કર્યું? એને જાત જાત જોડે લડાઈ, એક જાતને બીજી જાત જોડે, એક ગામને બીજા ગામ જોડે, શહેરને ગામડા જોડે, જિલ્લા જોડે, ગુજરાતને સૌરાષ્ટ્ર જોડે લડાવો 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 ભાગલા પાડો ભાગલા
Across to breaking news coming in. Top Chhattisgarh bureaucrat in Bhupesh Baghel government has been arrested. Deputy Secretary in the office of Chief Minister Bhupesh Baghel, who is Soumya Chaurasia, he's been arrested in the coal extortion case. Chaurasia is one of the top bureaucrats in Bhupesh Baghel's office. He's now been arrested, and this is in connection with the coal extortion case. Shravan Sen will join us shortly to give us more details of Soumya Chaurasia and what exactly is been suspected against him. But we can confirm that he's the top bureaucrat in the Bhupesh Baghel government, and he has been arrested. Also coming in for sure that this is in connection with the coal extortion case. He is the top officer. Shravan Sen is with me on the broadcast. Shravan, give us details of Soumya Chaurasia's arrest and what is being looked into.
Is a big arrest that has been made in Chhattisgarh. Remember, we are now given to understand that top bureaucrat in Bhupesh Baghel's office has now been placed under arrest by the Enforcement Directorate. This is in the coal extortion case. We are picking up details that Deputy Secretary in the Chief Minister's office, Soumya Chaurasia, a Deputy Commissioner, has now been placed under arrest. What are the basic charges? We are not sure at this point in time, but what we can confirm to our viewers is that this is the second big arrest that has been made in the coal extortion case, in which the allegation essentially being that in just about 16 months, 500 crore rupees in an illegal manner was taken from the coal traders. In fact, there you had Suryakant Tiwari, another figure who happens to be close to a political party, was essentially raising this entire money by extorting this money from those who were taking out coal from the state of Chhattisgarh. And for the movement of it also, money was essentially being taken. We can now confirm that the Enforcement Directorate, after examining several of the other bureaucrats, has essentially pinned down on Soumya Chaurasia, who essentially they believe that played a role in this entire cartel, those who are basically responsible within the government to try and extort money from those who were buying coal from the state of Chhattisgarh. In fact, the allegation essentially being that for any trader taking out coal from there, every truck had a certain amount to pay, and that amount of payment that was basically being made was essentially for the transportation, or rather the safe transportation of the goods outside the state of Chhattisgarh. And this, they are saying, within a span of just about 16 months, about 500 crore rupees was extorted.
These are very big charges, Shravan, and certainly the ED looking into every single detail. But what is being followed from here on? The arrest is done, but what next for the bureaucrat?
Well, it does actually it gives us the indication that there could be more government officials who perhaps would have been involved in this extortion racket. Just to explain this to our viewers, what this racket is all about, the allegation being that large number of coal mines that are operational in Chhattisgarh, from where these traders have been buying directly from several of these coal companies there. For any truck that was basically coming out of these coal mines, there is a certain amount, a cut money that was essentially being taken for the safe transportation of the coal outside the state of Chhattisgarh. And this money was basically being routed through mafias like Suryakant Tiwari and others who have already been placed under arrest. In fact, earlier, the deputy an IS rank officer was basically examined by the Enforcement Directorate. Now we are seeing that this happens to be one of the biggest arrests that has taken place right now in the state of Chhattisgarh, and happens to be someone who's linked to the Chief Minister's office. Important to point out here is the fact that Ms. Chaurasia, who's been placed under arrest by the Enforcement Directorate, has now been accused of favoring certain coal traders and running this entire mafia. That's the allegation that has been leveled against the IS officer. We've not heard anything from the IS officer herself, or for that matter, anyone from the family in terms of the allegations that have been leveled. We're also waiting for a communication coming in from the Chhattisgarh government, because remember, it raises some very uncomfortable questions for the Chhattisgarh government also, because the very fact that the Enforcement Directorate is levelling such serious charges, the fact that they're saying that some of the top bureaucrats are essentially involved in the extortion racket, it becomes far more difficult, far more embarrassing rather for the Chhattisgarh government at this point in time. We are waiting for some sort of a response to come in from the Chhattisgarh government also.
Absolutely, Shravan, and that brings me to the next question, that after what had happened with Hemant Soren, we are seeing this happening in the Baghel government. Point is there a bigger racket? Is it similar to what we had seen in Jharkhand?
Well, in fact, the allegations are different. As far as Jharkhand is concerned, remember, the Chief Minister faces this direct allegation of holding a mining license, which he eventually had to give up. But as far as this particular case is concerned, it may not directly link anyone within the Chief Minister's office per se, or whether there is any role that has been played by certain political leaders in the state of Chhattisgarh. That is not known at this point in time. But the fact that they have made arrests of people who are considered to be close to the Chief Minister raises some very uncomfortable questions, because same in the case of the Jharkhand coal smuggling case. Remember, the first set of arrests that were essentially made were those of alleged close aides of the Jharkhand Chief Minister Hemant Soren. In fact, much later, Hemant Soren was actually summoned by the Enforcement Directorate, asked to appear in this particular case. Now, as far as the role of the current Chief Minister of Chhattisgarh is concerned, that is not known. Whether at all there is any direct or indirect link, that is also not known, and there hasn't been any word really coming in from the Enforcement Directorate as far as political leaders are concerned. Their scope of investigation is, as of now, limited to those government officials who are part of this entire nexus, those who are essentially responsible, or those who have played an important role in perpetuating this entire crime of extortion of the coal traders. They are saying that in a span of about just 16 months, 500 crore rupees was extorted. Well, that's the latest now coming in of the big breaking news. First on Republic TV, the Enforcement Directorate essentially suspecting that about 500 crore rupees was raised through an extortion racket involving top government officials of the Chhattisgarh government. First on Republic TV, a top Chhattisgarh bureaucrat has now been placed under arrest by the Enforcement Directorate. Chhattisgarh official has been arrested. We can now confirm that Deputy Secretary in the Office of the Chief Minister, Soumya Chaurasia, has been arrested in the coal extortion case. Deputy Commissioner Chaurasia happens to be one of the top bureaucrat in Bhupesh Baghel's government. Remember, this is not the first arrest that has been made in the coal extortion case. In the past, two other government officials were actually examined by the Enforcement Directorate. Apart from that, we're also being told that the arrest of Suryakant Tiwari has essentially led to several revelations that have been made as far as those who are essentially responsible for this entire extortion racket that was being carried out. Just a quick recap before I hand over to Deepthi in a short while from now. This is with regards to the coal extortion case, which was registered by the Enforcement Directorate a couple of months ago, where searches were carried out, and about 4 crore rupees was recovered during the searches that were carried out by the Enforcement Directorate.
इस साल में शादी कर लेते हैं, लड़कियां 18 साल सरकार ने इजाजत दी, उसके बाद शादी कर लेते हैं। वो लोग 40 साल से पहले 1, 2, 3 इलीगल बीवियां रखते हैं, वहां बच्चे होने नहीं देते हैं, उनका खर्चा वो बजाते हैं, मजा उड़ाते हैं। उसके बाद 40 साल के बाद माँ बाप ने मजबूर किया या कहीं फंस गए तो एक शादी कर ली। उसके बाद 40 साल के बाद बच्चा पैदा करने की सलाहियत कहाँ रहती है? वो कैसे उम्मीद रखते हैं कि वहां से इतने बच्चे बढ़ेंगे? तो जो लोग टाइम पे फर्टाइल जमीन के ऊपर आप जब मिट्टी डालोगे और दवा डालोगे, वहां से तो धान ही धान उगेगा, खेती अच्छी होगी, लहान होगी, तरक्की होगी, तो उनको भी अपनाना चाहिए मुसलमानों के इस फॉर्मूले को कि अपने बच्चों को, जवानों को 20-22 साल में शादियां कराओ, लड़कियों को 18-20 साल की उम्र में शादियां कराओ, फिर देखो आपके यहाँ भी कितने बच्चे पैदा होते हैं। लेकिन 2 नंबर ही धंधा मत करो।
Details on our next story. Just 2 days after the Telugu actor Vijay Devarkonda was questioned by the Enforcement Directorate, now the channel has accessed exclusive details on what is under investigation. In fact, these are dubious fundings that the agencies now are looking at. Republic has accessed the full details. Investigation spotlight is on around 60 to 70 crore funding, which was received by the producers. The firm Puri Connects, in fact, LLP, that's run by director Puri Jagannath and an aspiring actor Charmi. Both of them, what we are learning, have been examined by the ED on the actor and his dubious funding link. The ED sources say that the actor took much less remuneration for his movie as compared to the other movies. ED sources also add that the actor has political links, which is under the scanner. So that's a story and Republic investigation. Let's also get in our colleague Shavan, who has more details on what we know about the story so far. You know, Shavan, many people are wondering what the story is all about. What is the dubious funding angle here? So why don't you bring us up to speed about what we know as far as the agencies go, Shavan? What are the allegations and what are the charges? What is it that the ED has learned so far on the case? I think Shavan possibly is not able to hear us at this point in time, so we'll just give him a second so that we can quickly get him back on the screens. But on your screens, you're also reading more details of where the investigation right now stands. The actor, remember, has been questioned. And on your screens are more details of what Republic is learning from the sources in the investigative agencies. That were there dubious funding that the firm received, and why did the actor not take his usual pay packet when it came to this entire movie? Does he also have links with the firm that was providing this entire funding? And also possibly if there are political links to the entire story.
Stan, they received the initial funding of roughly about 30 to 40 crore rupees. Now, what is even more surprising is this. During the investigation, they essentially came across the fact that this funding that came in, 30 to 40 crore rupees, came in from multiple bank accounts. In fact, 100 bank accounts from where this money actually came in smaller amounts. So it was in smaller amounts that Puri Connects LLP received the money. It turns out that these are Benami bank accounts from where the money actually came in. And what is even more important to point out here is that certain foreign transactions have taken place. Foreign transactions to the tune of 10 crore rupees. Because remember, top names were engaged. Foreign technicians were actually engaged and payments were essentially made. Now, there is nothing wrong in foreign transactions actually taking place, but the problem essentially lies when they haven't been able to furnish any details with regards to how the transactions have essentially taken place. So at one level is about the initial funding of this particular film that has come under the scanner, because they suspect that there is a political link to it, and the fact that the amount, the initial funding for this particular film came from dubious sources, multiple bank accounts, and that to Benami bank accounts, and that is the reason why there appears to be the larger problem in this particular case. Now let's talk about the role of the actor. In this particular case, what is extremely surprising is that the actor took much lesser remuneration for this film compared to his other films. That is the reason why many are, the Enforcement Directorate is suspecting whether at all there is any political link that the actor has, and that same political link has essentially helped in the funding of this particular project. And how exactly was the funding done? Now, after the questioning of the actor is concerned, the Enforcement Directorate came across some new revelations. The revelations essentially being that real estate companies.
All right, Shravan, they're helping us understand what the agency and the charges right now entail. But also, let's cut across to our colleague Aneri, who's joining us live right now. And she'll be able to tell us more of what we've heard from the actor. You know, Aneri, the actor already has been questioned. Is there any formal statement that has been issued? Because these are very, very serious charges. And do we now know whether any kind of black money then was used in this particular movie?
Well, Deepthi, Vijay Devarkonda, who is one of the lead actors in the film Liger, which was one of the super hit movies, which we say that in the recent times, the Liger movie was one of the super hit movies. But when we talk about the Enforcement Directorate investigation, Enforcement Directorate had questioned Vijay Devarkonda, the lead actor, for almost 9 to 10 hours in this week. And also at the same time, after coming out of the Enforcement Directorate's office, Vijay Devarkonda had stated that this is all the love and affection from your side, which these are the side effects of the love and affection which we are getting from your side, but it is an experience, and I am ready to give any sort of answers for all the questions which are being asked. And also at the same time, he has been saying this, that he is ready for any sort of investigation, any sort of inquiry, because we had seen the other day Vijay Devarkonda had come to the Enforcement Directorate office in Hyderabad and he was questioned in connection with the funding, because what we are being told is that most of the shooting for this film was done in the foreign countries, and so definitely a larger question arises is that from where did they get this much of amount, because what we are being told is that this movie had costed near about 100 crores, approximately 100 crores is what we are being told. So definitely larger question is that does this have a political connect, or are there any political links to this? Where did the funding come from also remains to be seen, because as we also have been pointing out, Vijay Devarkonda, who is the lead actor and one of the topmost Tollywood actors in the recent times, he has been charging much more than what he had charged for Liger movie.
So, you know, Aneri, when there are such questions, what do we know from the agency? Have they been satisfied with day one of his questioning, or, will he be called again? We still do not know that, Aneri. But let me also take this back to Shravan. I'm told he has more details. Shravan, what does the agency say? Do they have more on the papers? Do they have more, that they really want to find out? Or day one of the questioning of the actor, they say is good enough right now, they possibly could be connecting the dots?
Well, as far as the actor's questioning is concerned, they have also taken certain documents from the actor in terms of the funding that was received for the film and the remuneration that he received. But they aren't really satisfied with the responses that have come in so far, but they are saying that once the examination of all the documents take place, only then they would take the decision whether at all the actor needs to be called in once again. But at this point in time, for the Enforcement Directorate, the task essentially being that they need to examine all the documents and these real estate companies that were essentially floated, and whether at all the money that came in to Puri Connects LLP does that have any link with the actor, and whether it was diverted through any of the companies. Those are aspects that are yet to be verified, yet to be examined by the Enforcement Directorate. That perhaps is going to take some more time, and only after that they would be calling in others for examination. As of now, what we can confirm, Deepthi, is that aspiring actor Charbi, who's part of Puri Connects LLP, and director Jagannath Puri, they have all been examined by the Enforcement Directorate. Initially, we were given to understand that perhaps this could be just a FEMA case, which is basically whether at all there have been any foreign exchange violation. But it turns out to be a far more serious case. It is a PMLA case which is being looked into by the Enforcement Directorate, which essentially means that they're looking at whether at all there has been some sort of money laundering. And there is a political link at this point in time that is emerging, that is under the scanner. Perhaps we'll have to withhold the details of the political link, because right now, remember, the investigation is at a nascent stage and the Enforcement Directorate has been completely tight-lipped about what are the political linkages. But through our own independent investigation that we have also carried out, it does appear that yes, some of those those who have been associated with the film are linked to political leaders, and those political leaders, once again, interestingly, have actually received free services from the actor. In fact, the actor has carried out promotional features at free of cost for certain political leaders, and that is the reason why he was also asked several questions about his political linkages. And surprisingly, as far as this particular film is concerned, in this film the actor did take remuneration far lesser than what he normally charges in other films, and that is the reason why that raised the red flag at this point in time as to why exactly would the actor decide to take much lesser remuneration, and what were the grounds essentially. And more importantly, it turns out from the investigation that there are multiple real estate companies that have basically come under the scanner, and in these companies he's not a director but holds shares, and these shares are now being examined by the Enforcement Directorate.
All right, Shravan and Aneri, I think those are very, very important details as far as the entire case goes. And I think people who've been wondering why was the actor even called into the first place, now we'll have more clarity on what this case holds, what really are the papers because of which the Enforcement Directorate actually had called the actor for questioning. Whether it's going to be called again, we still do not know. But Republic, as always, will be on top of that story. Quickly heading into a break. Back on the other side with lots more.
आज के दिन जब दिल में दर्द है अपने जवानों की शहादत पर, उसी के साथ साथ जब ये नारे गूंजते हैं तो एक सुकून है, एक हिम्मत है।
मैं इस वक्त जाफराबाद में मौजूद हूं और आप मेरे पीछे देख सकते हैं कि यहाँ पर फोर्स डिप्लॉयड है। कोशिश ये है पुलिस कर्मियों की, अर्धसैनिक बलों की, कि यहाँ पर किसी तरह का कोई दंगा ना भड़क पाए।
तो आपको लगातार बता रहे हैं कि किसान कानून वापस हुए हैं, और किसान कानून वापस होने के बाद सीधे किसानों के बीच पहुंची हूं और किसानों से ही बात कर रही हूं। शाहीन बाग पर बुलडोजर चलेगा। शाहीन बाग को लेकर जो राजनीति गरमाई रही वो और ज्यादा गरमाएगी, ये बिल्कुल तय है।
Chief Minister Basavaraj Bommai, as we'd been reporting earlier, is set to visit Belgavi on the 2nd of December. Bommai will visit the bordering village of Belgavi.
The Delhi Liquorgate. Now, the Enforcement Directorate has now arrested Amit Arora. Now, remember, it's the 6th arrest in the case.
The joint operation for the BSF as well as the Punjab Police, as they have recovered 5 AK rifles, 5 pistols and 9 magazines that have been recovered from the Firozpur area.
The report exposes how Robert Vadra and Huda's family conspired together in a multi-crore scam. Mr. Malia, why are the questions bothering you when I'm not getting a single answer? The entire disputed land will be handed over to the Hindu parties to make a Ram temple.
The mental torture of Jadha that is consistently happening there, it's a very clear indication about how these confessions are actually doctored and taken.
Delhi High Court has said the riots in 2020 evidently did not happen in the spur of the moment.
We see a split verdict in the Supreme Court. The one thing that needs to be understood is what is going to happen ahead.
Bajrang Dal staging protests over the comment made by the Israeli filmmaker, and anger that is growing across the nation over the insult to Kashmiri Pandits.
Bilkis Bano has now moved the Supreme Court over the release of 11 convicts was challenged in the Supreme Court. Bilkis demanded to send everyone back to jail.
From Dibrugarh University, case of ragging had shocked the entire country.
As Gujarat goes to polls on the 1st of December, 89 of 182 seats will vote.
Where high voltage political battle has broken out in the state of Gujarat since the bipolarity of the state.
Will the BJP score a record victory in Gujarat? Is the Aam Aadmi Party even a factor?
Politics has been challenged for the first time. Watch the fastest updates only on India's election headquarters
On Republic TV.
Voltage battle which will decide the nation's political trajectory. Who will break their records and which faces will be the winners?
89 out of the 182 seats go to polls. Stay tuned to India's election news headquarters
as Gujarat goes to polls. Live coverage minute by minute all day today on Republic.
Waterlogging has increased in the last 3 to 4 hours. Elphinstone station is shut, which means all those people who are hoping to go back home. When you look at that crowd, what's the message that Houston is sending out? There is also anticipation of a few announcements being made. What are your expectations when they both come up on stage? Are you expecting something big? I'm at the Jama Masjid in Bandra and there are thousands of people behind me. Why they are protesting, but the situation is pretty tense. Thousands of people that you see. 4 दिन की रिमांड है, 4 दिन की रिमांड. कुछ कहना चाहते हैं आप? पत्राचौल स्कैम, मनी लॉन्ड्रिंग का चार्ज के बारे में क्या बोलना चाहते हैं आप? As Gujarat goes to polls on the 1st of December, 89 of 182 seats will vote.
Where high voltage political battle has broken out in the state of Gujarat since the bipolarity of the state.
Will the BJP score a record victory in Gujarat? Is the Aam Aadmi Party even a factor?
Politics has been challenged for the first time. Watch the fastest updates only on India's election headquarters
on Republic TV.
Battle which will decide the nation's political trajectory. Who will break their records and which faces will be the winners?
89 out of the 182 seats go to polls. Stay tuned to India's election news headquarters
as Gujarat goes to polls. Live coverage minute by minute all day today on Republic. It's a massive controversy as the JNU walls are defaced with anti-Hindu hate slogans.
कौन लोग हैं जो जानते हैं कि वो ये दुस्साहस करेंगे और दंडित नहीं होंगे?
Union Minister Smriti Irani hits out, says we know who's pushing the hate narrative. There is anger among the Sikh community as the 84 riot accused is Congress's star campaigner for the MCD elections. Almost a fortnight after the assault to the restaurant staff in Bengaluru, BJP Neta's son is still absconding. Sidhu Moosewala murder probe widens. Gangster Goldie Brar is detained in the US. Will he be extradited next? And Jaiveer Shergill is made the BJP national spokesperson, while Captain Amrinder and Sunil Jakhar made part of the BJP's national executive. A very good evening. You're with us here on Republic. Let's put our focus on a story that a lot of you have been speaking about, especially on the social media. It's a huge controversy as the walls of the JNU, that's the Jawaharlal Nehru University, have literally been defaced with anti-Hindu hate slogans. In fact, what we now know is that the Vice Chancellor has taken some serious note of the incident of defacement of the walls and the faculty rooms by some unknown elements in SIS at the JNU. The Dean of the School of International Studies and Grievances Committee have also been asked to inquire and submit a report to the VC at the earliest. You're looking at how the wall really looks like right now. That's an image that has been captured and an image that everyone has been talking about. Rohit Kumar, who's the ABVP president of the JNU, and Siddhant Mishra, the ABVP joint secretary again from the JNU, are both joining us on the broadcast here. Good evening to you, Rohit, and to Siddhant. And I'll take the first question to you, Rohit. First up, why don't you tell our viewers that when did you people notice this? When was this actually put up? Who noticed it? Where all was, this plastered? And what do we know? कौन था इसके पीछे, रोहित? अभी तक क्या जानकारी है?
जी, आपको और आपके सभी दर्शकों को मेरा नमस्कार। जब हम कल 1 दिसंबर को भारत की प्रेसिडेंसी जो G20 नेशंस में हुई है उसको सेलिब्रेट करने के लिए, उसके ऊपर जब हम टॉक करने, सेमिनार करने स्कूल ऑफ इंटरनेशनल स्टडीज के बिल्डिंग में सुबह जाते हैं, तो हमको सामने दिखाई देता है देयर विल बी ब्लड, ब्राह्मण्स भारत छोड़ो, ब्राह्मणों को देश से भगाएंगे, वी विल अवेंज, खून बहाएंगे, ऐसी मतलब अभद्र बातें। और साथ ही साथ उसी वक्त खबर आती है कि कुछ प्रोफेसर्स जो कि SIS के प्रोफेसर है, जिनका काम पढ़ाने लिखाने का है, उनके दीवार पे, उनके चैम्बर के आगे भी ऐसी अभद्र चीजें, ऐसी अब्यूजेस, जेनोसाइडल और कास्टिस्ट रिमार्क्स, ऐसे डिवाइसिव और सेसेशनिस्ट बातें लिखी गई है। तो ये एक हम देखेंगे कि 2014 के बाद 2016 में भारत तेरे टुकड़े होंगे इंशाल्लाह, उसके बाद फलस्तीन की बातें, उसके बाद आप देखेंगे कश्मीर की बातें, स्कूल ऑफ सोशल साइंसेस की बिल्डिंग में,